Chapter 781. Book title, Zhang Must Save Her. By just when Sima Yuyue was worried, Yuan Xiaojie's voice came from above her head, giving her strength to calm down. We understand your situation. Although the god-devil body is a bit surprising, it's nothing much. You already know. Sima Yuyue said, You don't think that I'm an alien? What does that have to do with anything? Su Jin said, Although your identity is a bit scary, I'll accept it after thinking about it. You are still my disciple. Master. Sima Yuyue was touched. She didn't expect that her physique and identity would be discovered without any warning. It would be a lie to say that she wasn't worried and afraid. Humans hated the ghost race and the devil race. If they knew about her situation, it was inevitable that they would want to get rid of her quickly. She didn't expect their reaction to be so unexpected. However, your physique is a bit of a headache. Su Jin said, but we'll find a way. You should focus on recuperating. Okay. Sima Yuyue nodded. Let's go out. I'll go talk to those fellows outside about the situation first. Forget about the visit, you'll be fine in 2 days anyway. Su Jin said. He went to the courtyard. The people who had been waiting for him for 7 days all looked at him expectantly when he came out again. She's already woken up. You guys go back first. She'll go back in 2 days when she's better. Su Jin said and went back. Sima Yulin and the others relaxed and prepared to go back to rest. They hadn't cultivated or slept for the past few days. Once they heard that Yuyue had recovered, they relaxed and looked a little tired. Su Jin went to Yuan Xiaojie's office. The two of them were already waiting for him inside. Other than them, there was also Fan Lei and Mao Sanquan. I'm going to find a solution, he said to them as soon as he entered. You're going alone? Do you know where to go to find a solution? Mao Sanquan looked at Su Jin in astonishment. Was this guy stupid? Wasn't Amo Sha from there? Although so many years had passed, there would definitely be some clues that had been passed down. I want to look there. Su Jin said. You actually want to go there for her? Fan Lei said, Do you know what kind of place that is? Of course I know. Su Jin sat down on the chair and casually leaned back, returning to his usual self. Although the two of you are master and disciple, your relationship isn't that close. Is it worth it to go there for her? Although Mao Sanquan felt that it was necessary for the school to take care of the students, it wasn't like this. This was too dangerous. Old Gu, what do you think? Fan Lei looked at Gu Lang. I'll go with you. Gu Lang didn't answer Fan Lei, but looked at Su Jin instead. It can't be. Are you too crazy? Mao Sanquan shouted. Perhaps. Mao Sanquan said, Although I only took care of her for a short period of time, my feelings for her are not comparable to that of an ordinary student. Besides, she's very talented. We have to protect her. Even if she is. It's too dangerous for you to go there. Mao Sanquan was still somewhat disapproving. What is she? Fan Lei looked at them in confusion. What was there that he didn't know? Old Mao? She is the only person who has stepped into the pavilion of connecting heaven in so many years. Mao Sanquan said. Finished the stairway to heaven? How come I didn't know about this? Fan Lei shouted, Didn't those people directly send them to the inner court during the exam? Then why did Sima Yuyue stay in the outer court? Mao Sanquan snorted, Isn't it because of the outer court? On the day of the exam, Sima Yuyue didn't go to the pavilion of connecting heaven, so she wasn't sent over. Later on, she went to the pavilion of connecting heaven and finished the stairway to heaven. When we heard the news, you had already left with Little Tuesday. Fan Lei was so shocked by this news that he couldn't breathe. Then, he pinched his thigh and said, There's actually someone who finished the stairway to heaven. This news is too shocking. She finished the stairway to heaven, but also has the body of a god and devil. She carries with her a fate and responsibility that we can't estimate. Gu Lang sighed. Then, Fan Lei looked at Su Jin and Gulang. Are you really planning to go there? It doesn't matter if she finished the stairway to heaven or not. She's still my disciple. Su Jin said, for her, I have to try. Gulang nodded in agreement. If there's a chance, we have to try. Since you want to go, then go. Yuan Shaojie said, when the ranking competition is over, I'll go too. When the time comes, we'll go together. You want to go too? Mao Senquan and Fan Lei shouted at the same time. After looking at each other, they said in unison, no. Why not? Yuan Shaojie didn't care about their protests and said, you've managed the school well these years. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, my ass. Mao Senquan wanted to curse. He'd never seen someone who could throw away their responsibilities like this. Anyway, you can't go together. 1 principal, 3 vice principals, and 4 stewards. The number of people in the academy had never exceeded that of the 2 principals. Have you ever considered my feelings? No, I want to take a vacation. Otherwise, I'll throw away my responsibilities and leave too. Old Mao has been tired these years. But the things we need to do are urgent. How about this? Old Fan won't go out these few years and will stay to help you. It's decided. Yuan Shaojie said. Right, how's the arrangement for the ranking? Other than pushing back the date according to your request, there's no other problem. Mao Senquan said. Those people are still stuffing people in here? If they can't find the eye of the earth, of course they'll continue. Mao Senquan's eyes flashed with impatience, saying, I say, can't you clean it up? Those flies are always flying around. I'm tired of dealing with them. Little Seven hasn't finished evolving yet. When she's done, you can clean it up. Yuan Shaojie said. Those powers didn't give up. Even though they knew there was no result, they still kept sending people. If the people they sent were useless, they sent their family members to the school. Did they really think there was hope just because they came? Old man, aren't you going to bring my disciple to participate in the competition? What, you're not going? Su Jin didn't care whether they fought or not. Anyway, it was never his turn to manage the school. I'll go there first and then rush back. If I can't make it back, old Mao, you guys bring the students over. Yuan Shaojie said. What's so urgent that you have to rush over in such a short time? Gulang asked. I'm going to stop something. If I fail, I'm afraid the entire continent will tremble. From then on, there will be a reign of terror. Yuan Shaojie said faintly. Gentlemen's Alliance. Chapter 782. The following is provided for you, Chapter 782, One Step Too Late, please enjoy. Sima Yuyue laid on the bed, her eyes filled with gratitude. They thought that she was injured and her divine sense was exhausted, so she couldn't hear their conversation, so they didn't try to avoid her. Who would have thought that she had heard their conversation clearly? She reckoned that for someone with her strength, with such a heavy injury, her divine sense would be too weak to hear their conversation. But her divine sense was several times stronger than the average person, so this injury wouldn't affect her at all. She sighed, thinking of Su Jin and Gulang's feelings towards her. She hadn't known them for long, but they were so kind to her. A teacher for a day, a father for life. She hadn't done it yet, but they had. Master, Teacher Gu, she wanted to find them and tell them not to run around for her. Mo Sha was by her side, so she would have a way. But she couldn't move now, so she couldn't find them. Let's talk about it when they come over. She thought to herself. She wanted to rest for a while, but she fell asleep. When she woke up again, a whole day had passed. Because of the pills and her physique, most of her injuries had healed. She got out of bed, and the courtyard was empty. Principal Yuan and the others were gone, and the barrier had disappeared. She walked around, and after confirming that no one was around, she left the courtyard and returned to Parting Garden. She wanted to find Su Jin and tell him not to run around for her, but she heard a surprising news when she went back. What did you say? Master already left? Sima Yuyue was shocked, and grabbed Su Xiaoxiao's clothes. Su Xiaoxiao didn't expect Sima Yuyue to be so shocked, and said, Master said he had something to do, so he left last night. Do you know where Master went? Su Xiaoxiao shook her head, saying, Master left with the principal and the others. He said he was going somewhere far away, and won't be back for a while. Oh right, Master also left his life tablet. Master left his life tablet? Sima Yuyue panicked, let go of Su Xiaoxiao, and ran out. Little junior brother, you just came back, where are you going? Su Xiaoxiao shouted at her back. Unfortunately, she disappeared in a flash, leaving Su Xiaoxiao with dust on her butt. Sigh, you ran so fast. I haven't asked you how you're doing. He shook his head and picked up a broom to start sweeping the yard. Sima Yuyue rushed to Mao Sanquan's office and pushed the door open without waiting for the announcement. Director Mao. She ran in and saw Mao Sanquan talking to a teacher. She then reacted and stood there awkwardly. You're awake? Mao Sanquan was surprised to see Sima Yuyue rushing in. Yes. Sima Yuyue lowered her head. Mao Sanquan said to the teacher beside him, the matter of the billboard ranking competition will be arranged according to what we discussed today. You can leave first. Yes, Director Mao. The teacher got up, cupped his hands towards Mao Sanquan, and left. When he passed by Sima Yuyue bowed to him. You haven't recovered yet. Why are you in such a hurry? What's the matter? Mao Sanquan asked. Well, I want to ask if Master and the others have left. Sima Yuyue asked. Yes. Can you contact Master? No. You can't? Aren't you and Master always in contact? We can't send messages to the place where they went. Mao Sanquan said. Then Master. What should we do? Sima Yuyue was worried. Mao Sanquan looked at her anxious expression and said with certainty, You heard our conversation yesterday? Sima Yuyue was silent for a while, and nodded. Yes. That's why I want to stop Master from going. It would be better if you woke up last night. Mao Sanquan said, Now that they have gone, we can't send messages. Is there no other way? There is no other way. Sima Yuyue was silent. You don't have to worry too much. Mao Sanquan saw the way she was, although we can't send messages, they can still send messages if they want to. We have already agreed to let them send messages back on time. If they go missing, the sect will send people to look for them. Yes. Sima Yuyue was silent. Is there anything else? Mao Sanquan asked. No. You haven't fully recovered yet. Go back and rest. Mao Sanquan said. Yes. Sima Yuyue bowed and retreated. Right, the billboard ranking competition 3 months later. You guys should prepare early. Yes. Sima Yuyue came out of the office and sighed in her heart. She walked to Sima Yuyue's courtyard and bumped into them. Eldest brother, second brother, where are you guys going? Sima Yuyue and Sima Yochi were surprised when they saw her. Fifth bro, are you alright? Fifth bro, why did you come out? Both of them said at the same time. I have something to deal with. My injury is no longer a problem. Sima Yuyue said with a smile, where are you guys going? Didn't we accept a mission before? We're going to hand it in now. Sima Yuyue said, we thought that the flamingo egg was with you, so we only handed in the third one. Now that you're here, let's hand in the first mission. Sima Yuyue gave a thought and the flamingo egg appeared in front of them. I'm still a little uncomfortable, so I won't go with you. You can hand in the mission anytime. Since you're here, let's go in together. Sima Yuyue said. That's right. Let's go in. Sima Yochi looked at her pale face and his eyes were full of heartache. Sima Yuyue went in. Sima Yuyue and Sima Yuyue were surprised and happy at the same time. Fifth bro, you're finally alright. When we heard from Blue Blade, we were scared to death. Sima Yuyue reached out and hugged her. Blue Blade told you? Sima Yuyue hugged him back and asked. That's right. Sima Yulil let go of her. At that time, he came to look for us and said that you had been injured by the ghost clansman. Even Teacher Su was helpless, so he brought you back to look for the principal. We were scared out of our wits. What kind of person is this Teacher Su? Even he can't do anything about it. How serious was your situation back then? That's right, fourth brother was so scared that he was about to cry. Sima Yuming said with a smile. Aren't you the same? Sima Yulo retorted, at that time, I wonder whose fingers were pinched so hard that they bled? Fifth bro, what happened to you that day? Sima Yuren asked. Go and call them over, I'll tell you all about it. I love my academy, actively cooperate with the Special Action to combat obscene and pornographic information on the internet, thank you. Chapter 783. The following is provided for you, 783. Please enjoy. Yu, what exactly happened to you that day? How did you get injured to the point where even Teacher Su couldn't heal you? Fatty Chu asked anxiously when he saw Sima Yu. Yu, how are you now? Wei Ziqi asked with concern. Sima Yu smiled at them and waved her hand, saying, come and sit down, I'll tell you later. Bei Gong Tang came to Yu's side and sat down, saying, your face is still very pale, why did you come out in just a day? It's no longer related. Sima Yu said. Yu, tell us what happened that day. Sima Yu said it very simply. It was nothing more than how she was injured by the ghost aura and how she was saved by Yuan Shaojia and the others. That thing is still in your body? Sima Yulin frowned. If that was the case, wouldn't she be in danger at all times? That death aura can't threaten me now. It's because I just woke up that I don't have time. Wait until I'm healed, then I'll deal with it. You don't have to worry. Ghost aura belongs to another world, can you deal with it? Fatty Chu asked worriedly, why don't you ask the principal or Teacher Su? The principal and my master are no longer in the sect. If I really can't do it, I'll find someone else to help. Sima Yu wasn't anxious. That death aura was very peaceful in her body now. Once she took precautions, it wouldn't be able to move the dark energy in her body. Thinking about the death aura that came out, she was very suspicious because she always thought that her body only had the dark attribute. She never knew that she had death aura. Before this, even Crimson Flame and Emo Sha didn't know. That was why she never dared to confirm whether her mother was from the Devil Clan or the Ghost Clan. But she didn't think that once the death aura entered her body, the death aura in her body would appear out of nowhere, and there was so much of it. Even the Spirit Pagoda pool that the Spirit Pagoda opened was filled by more than half. It wasn't any less than the Dark Pagoda pool. Maybe this is the power your mother left for you. M.O. Sha guessed. Mother? Otherwise, I can't think of another reason. Perhaps. In fact, she had also thought that her mother might have left the death aura in her body so that once the seal was broken, the power of darkness and light would be able to contend against each other. However, she probably didn't expect that her death chi would be completely unleashed by that black-robed ghost's attack, causing her to almost die. Yuyue, what are you thinking about? Bei Gong Tang looked at Sima Yoyue's dazed expression and asked. Sima Yuyue recovered from her thoughts. Seeing that everyone was looking at her, she said, nothing. I was just thinking about the billboard. Billboard? How come I overheard Director Mao talking to a teacher about this in his office? With your strength, you should be able to easily get first place, right? Fatty Chu said with a grin. Has the time been set? Sima Yuren asked. Previously, for some reason, the timing of the billboard kept changing. It didn't seem like the style of the past at all. It's set. 3 months later. Sima Yuyue said, it just so happens that our mission has been completed. We can go and exchange for points. Yuyue, you won't be leaving during this period of time. Let's go to your spirit pagoda to cultivate. Little Spirit's place is much better than the cultivation pagoda. The spirit energy is much denser and the time is longer. Fatty Chu blinked his big eyes and looked at her. Sima Yue thought about it and agreed. But I still have to exchange for points. I'll save it for when I'm not in the sect. Second bro and I will go first. Sima Yuming said. Okay. Sima Yue and the others chatted for a while before Sima Yuming and Sima Yuqi returned. Both of them had smiles on their faces. Why are you so happy? When we went to exchange for points just now, that teacher said that we took 20 flamingo eggs and gave us 2 missions. To find out the reason for the strange things in Bright Red Mountain Peak, the leader said that this matter was important and gave us 3 times the reward. 3 times? Sima Yule jumped up. Isn't that 32,000 points? That's right. Including the flamingo eggs, we earned a total of 32,000 this time. That's right. After dividing it, each of us can get 2,900. Wow, that's enough for us to cultivate in the cultivation pagoda for 8 years. 1 mission in exchange for 8 years of time, this is too worth it. That's because of fifth bro. If it weren't for him, not to mention completing the mission, we wouldn't even be able to keep our lives. Sima Yuming said. Eldest bro is still saying this to me. Be careful or I'll get angry. Sima Yue said with a smile, my share won't be divided. I won't go to the cultivation pagoda either. It'll be a waste. In addition, little 7 doesn't need to be divided. Fifth bro, you have the cultivation pagoda. It's okay if you don't divide the points. But little 7 went with us. It's not good if you don't divide it. Sima Yuming said. Little 7 won't go to the cultivation pagoda to cultivate either. Sima Yue thought of little 7 in the spirit pagoda and was a little worried. It's okay. You don't have to count it in. You can divide it. They also knew that little 7 was not human. Since Yu said that they didn't need it, then they didn't need it. Then there are 9 of us. If we divide it equally, each of us will get 3,500, Sima Yule was overjoyed. 3,550 cultivation points. That was almost 10 years worth of time. They could cultivate in the cultivation pagoda for 10 years. Big bro Yuming, you don't have to give us so much. Just give us 1,000 each. Wei Ziqi said. How can we do that? Big bro Yuming, we are all professional masters. It's easier for us to accept missions. We can complete them during our usual practice. On the contrary, if you want to accept missions, you will waste a lot of time. If you have more, you can cultivate for a longer time. Wei Ziqi explained. They didn't lack cultivation points, so it didn't matter if they got fewer points. Big bro, let's divide it according to what Ziqi said. Sima Yue said. In the end, Sima Yulin and Wei Ziqi's group of 5 got 5,000 points. Sima Yuming and his brothers got the remaining 27,000 points. Each of them got 6,750 points. 6,000 points. We can cultivate in the cultivation pagoda for 18 years. It's too fantastical. Sima Yule held his token. His eyes were about to disappear from his smile. Sima Yuming and the others were also very happy. It was already good to get an unexpected reward. They didn't expect to get so many cultivation points. This time, they didn't have to go out to accept missions for a long time. 18 years was enough for them to advance in rank. At this moment, a clear and familiar voice came from outside. I heard your laughter at the door. You've been gone for so long. You're finally back. I love my academy, actively cooperate with the fight against internet obscenity and pornographic information. Thank you everyone. Chapter 784. The following is provided for you. 784. Please enjoy. Sima Yuming and the others stood up to welcome them. Just as they reached the entrance of the hall, they saw Shui Rong and Ma Bojian walking in from outside. Seeing the smiles on their faces, Shui Rong teased, "You've gotten so many cultivation points. You must be overjoyed, right? You know about it too? Sima Yuming said with some surprise. We're not the only ones who know. I'm afraid that all the other teams know about it. Your Thunder team has completed 2 missions and obtained 32,000 cultivation points. The other teams are probably dying of envy. How did it spread so quickly? Sima Yuming was stunned. It's only natural that such explosive news spread quickly. You've obtained so many cultivation points in one go. It's something that has never happened before. Furthermore, you're a newly established team with few members. When everyone thinks about the cultivation points you'll get, they all go crazy. There are already many people who want to join your team. Shui Rong said with a smile. She followed Sima Yuming in and subconsciously glanced at Sima Yu. Seeing her pale face, she said with concern, Yu, why do you look so pale? Are you hurt? Sima Yu saw that Shui Rong's shock and concern were not fake. She guessed that the sect did not spread the news that she had been hurt by the ghost realm. She smiled, saying, I got hurt when I was on a mission. It's no big deal now. I just need to rest for a while. It's normal to get hurt when you're on a mission. As long as you don't hurt your foundation, you'll be fine. Shui Rong had seen many injured people. They were often injured when they were on missions, so she did not pay much attention to her injuries. Are you here for something? Sima Yuming asked. Actually, it's nothing much. We heard that you're back, so we came to see you. Shui Rong glanced at Sima Yu with a troubled expression. Why are you looking for me? Sima Yu asked. This. Shui Rong and Ma Bojian looked at each other. Yu was a little confused. In the end, Ma Bojian said, It's like this. We went on a mission recently. During the mission, one of our team members was injured. We heard that Yu studied medicine in the outer court. You have excellent medical skills, so we wanted to ask you to take a look at him. But I didn't expect you to be injured too. If a student is injured, can't they look for a teacher? Sima Yu reminded them. Why don't we know about this? However, after the teachers in the academy checked her condition, they said that they couldn't find the reason and that there was nothing they could do. They said that they would report it. Shui Rong said, We wanted to go to the outer court to look for Teacher Gu, but we heard that Teacher Gu left last night. Therefore, he wanted to invite Yu to take a look when the school arranged for a teacher to come over. After all, she is someone who Teacher Gu praised for her outstanding medical skills. But Yu is injured. We have to think of another way, Ma Bojian said. Who's injured? It's Yuan. Shui Rong said. Shu Yuan? Sima Yu thought of that girl with clean eyes. When they were in the maze forest, she was still very protective of her. How is her condition? Her body is still considered normal, but she's been unconscious. Shui Rong said, The teacher who came to take a look said that she won't be in any danger for the time being, but we still don't feel at ease. Since it's her, then I'll go over and take a look. Sima Yu said. But you're also. Shui Rong looked at her worriedly. My condition is still all right. It's just that my body is a little weak. I'll go take a look at her condition first. If it's not serious, then we'll talk again in 2 days. Sima Yu said. Shui Rong smiled at her apologetically and said gratefully, Then I'll have to trouble you. Then let's go over. Sima Yu said, Right, the billboard ranking is about to start. The billboard ranking is part of the 3 great meetings. Fatty Chu and you guys have to prepare well. Fatty Chu and the rest nodded. When she said to prepare, she meant for them to prepare the things they needed for their training. When she recovered, they would go into closed-door cultivation in the Spirit Pagoda. Hence, they had to prepare well. Sima Yu thought about how she had heard about the 3 great meetings before she entered the inner sect. Now, it was finally here. Shui Rong brought Sima Yu to their dormitory. The moment they entered, they saw many people standing in the courtyard. Shui Rong, is she the person you were talking about? A little guy looked at Sima Yu's sickly appearance and was a little suspicious as to whether or not she really knew medicine. I was still wondering who you guys would look for. So you guys went to look for Yue. But Yue, why do you look so pale? Someone who had seen Sima Yue in the maze forest greeted her. I got injured during a mission. Sima Yue said, I'll go take a look at Su Yuanyuan. I'll bring you in. Shui Rong said. After they left, the small person thought about how they had addressed her. He blinked and asked, Yue? Sima Yue? She's Sima Yue? You just found out that it's her? No way, you're so ignorant. Didn't I go into closed-door cultivation for a period of time? After I came out, I heard of her name, but I've never seen her in person. I thought it would be a tall and strong man. Who would have thought that it would be such a small man? The small person said. How is she small? She's about the same size as you. Someone poked him and laughed at the small person. Sima Yue entered the house and went to Su Yuanyuan's bedroom. She saw her lying on the bed peacefully. The corners of her mouth were slightly raised as if she was smiling. Yue, she has had this expression since she fainted. It's as if she had a beautiful dream. Shui Rong said, at the beginning, we all thought that she was asleep because we found her like this the next morning. But no matter how much we called her, she didn't wake up. We then realized that something was wrong. Take a look at her. Okay. Sima Yue walked over and took out her right hand to check her pulse. After a while, she put it back. How is she? Shui Rong asked. Where did you guys go? Violet Water Swamp. You guys went to the Violet Water Swamp? Sima Yue looked at Shui Rong in surprise. At that time, they said that they would choose a more difficult mission to earn more cultivation points. Some people saw that the mission in the Violet Water Swamp was easier and insisted on going there. Shui Rong was a little angry when she said this. If they didn't go there, how would this happen? The Violet Water Swamp is one of the top 10 dangerous places in the outer region. Even if this mission isn't difficult, the environment itself is very dangerous. How can it be easy? Sima Yue shook her head in disagreement. I love my academy, actively cooperate with the Special Action to combat obscene and pornographic information on the internet. Thank you. Chapter 785. What happened to Yuanyuan? If I'm not wrong, she was attacked by something from the Violet Water Swamp. Sima Yue said. Spirit beast? What kind of spirit beast would attack a person like this? Shui Rong thought about it in her mind. She couldn't think of any of the spirit beasts they had encountered that could cause such an outcome. She was very puzzled. Sima Yue stood up and said, the phantom worm is a type of transparent worm that is smaller than a sesame seed. It is a spiritual type spiritual worm. After being bitten by it, one will fall into an illusion and will not be able to wake up. To outsiders, it will look like they are sleeping. The illusions were all beautiful dreams, so most of the people who were bitten had serene expressions and smiles on their faces. How long has she been asleep? 10 days. What happened? If a person bitten by a phantom bug doesn't wake up within half a month, they will never wake up again. Fortunately, she didn't exceed the time limit. He can still be saved. Sima Yue said. Then can you save her? I can't do it now. Sima Yue shook her head. I can't do it with my current body. You can tell the teachers about her reasons. The teachers definitely know how to solve it. It's just that they haven't thought of the reason yet, so they came up with a solution. What if teacher can't cure him? Shui Rong asked worriedly. If she's still like this after 4 days, you can come and find me. My injuries should be healed by then. Sima Yue said. All right. Thank you for coming today. Shui Rong said gratefully. I can't help you much with my current body. Sima Yue said. You've already helped a lot by finding the reason. Shui Rong said, we'll ask the teacher for help. If it still doesn't work, we'll have to ask for your help again. All right. If it doesn't work, you can come to the parting garden to find me. You're not feeling well. I'll send you back. Thank you. When the people outside saw Shui Rong and Sima Yue coming out after a short while, they thought that she was out of ideas. Their faces darkened. When Shui Rong came back from outside and saw them like this, she said, "Why do you guys look even worse than before?" Yue is a doctor and has been praised by Mr. Gu, but she is still young. It's normal that she can't tell the reason. Sigh, I didn't have much hope at first, but now I can't say that I'm disappointed. It's a pity that there's one less hope. Like I said, it's useless to look for her. What are you guys chattering about? Shui Rong walked over and said to Ma Bojian, "I'm going to look for the teacher and pass on Yue's message to him. Let's see if there's any way." What? Did Yue say anything? Yes. She found out the reason for Yuan's coma, but because of her injuries, she can't save her. She asked me to tell the teacher the reason and see if the teacher has any ideas. Shui Rong said, "Come with me to find the teacher." All right. The two of them left some instructions to the members of the club and went to look for the teacher. Hey, this Sima Yue only went in for a while and found the reason? Is she really that good? The little guy from before still couldn't believe it. He felt like he was hallucinating. I told you, Yue is very good. Didn't you say that you were disappointed just now? Did I? I definitely didn't say that. The teacher who treated Yuan walked out of his alchemy room. Shui Rong and Ma Bojian went up to him. Teacher Su. Shui Rong went up and bowed to Teacher Su. Shui Rong. Teacher Su saw Shui Rong and Ma Bojian and thought that they were here to see him. He said, "I've already reported Yuan's situation. The school will contact you soon, Teacher Su. We found the reason for Yuan's coma." Shui Rong said. You found the reason? Teacher Su was surprised. Yes. Shui Rong nodded. We found a classmate. She went to take a look and found the reason for her coma. Classmate? Which classmate? Sima Yue. She said that Yuan must have been bitten by a type of spirit insect called the phantom bug. Phantom bug? Teacher Su thought carefully and said, if it's the phantom bug, it's really possible for such a situation to happen. Let's go, quickly take me to see it. Shui Rong saw Teacher Su's expression and knew that he had a way. She immediately nodded happily and led him over. Teacher Su examined Yuan again. With a direction, it was indeed easier for him to find some of her characteristics. Teacher Su, how is it? Yes, it's indeed the symptoms of the phantom bug. Teacher Su said, why didn't I find it before? Yue said that the phantom bug is not common and can only be found in the violet water swamp. That's why most people would not think of it. Shui Rong said. Yue? Sima Yue? Teacher Su asked. Yes. So it's her. Teacher Su said. Teacher Su, do you know her? I've heard some things about her. Teacher Su said, since we know that it's the phantom bug, then we have a way to wake her up. But we need 7 days to prepare. 7 days? That won't do. Yuan has been unconscious for 10 days. Yue said that we can wait for 5 days at most. Otherwise, Yuan will never wake up. Shui Rong said. Only 5 days? Teacher Su looked at the person on the bed worriedly and said, I'll go and discuss with the other teachers to see if there's any other way. I'll go back first. Sorry to trouble you, Teacher Su. After Teacher Su left, Shui Rong went out and told the members of the club outside. It seems that we have to prepare for a backup plan. If Teacher Su and the others can't do it, we can only ask Yue for help. I hope Yuan will be fine. If Yuan wakes up, we have to ask her not to tell anyone about it. But even if we don't say anything, the news will spread very quickly. Even so, we still have time. If it wasn't for this, Yuan wouldn't have. Ma Bojian walked over and scolded, shut up. Is that something we can talk about here? If someone hears about it, we'll be in trouble. After being yelled at, those people immediately fell silent, looking as if they had done something wrong. Ma Bojian and Shui Rong looked at each other and entered the room together. What do you think about that matter? Shui Rong asked. We still have to wait for Yuanyuan to wake up before we can confirm the situation, Ma Bojian said. If it's really, then we have to report it to the academy. It's a pity for those brothers. Out of so many people, only Yuanyuan escaped alive. When she wakes up and finds out the truth, we can only hand this matter to the academy. Chapter 786. For days later, Xiao Yuanyuan still did not wake up. Shui Rong went to look for Sima Yuyue. Sima Yuyue had basically recovered from her injuries in the past 2 days. As her strength increased, her physique also developed more and more. This kind of external injury could usually be healed very quickly. It was even more effective than those medicinal pills. Yuyue, thank you for coming today. Shui Rong welcomed Sima Yuyue into Su Yuanyuan's room. Do you need me to do anything? Roll up her arms, legs, and clothes. Sima Yuyue said. All right. Shui Rong saw that Shu Yuanyuan's sleeves were rolled up to her elbows, and her pants were rolled up to her knees. Is that okay? Sima Yuyue looked at it and said, it's done. She took out a pill and fed it to Qin Yuanyuan. After waiting for a few minutes, she took a silver needle to the bedside and inserted a few needles into Qin Yuanyuan's arms, legs, and head. When she pierced the last needle in, Xiao Yuanyuan's body trembled violently. She took a deep breath, then suddenly opened her eyes and gasped for air. She looked around frantically, as if she hadn't realized where she was. Seeing Shui Rong at the side, she said excitedly, Rong Rong, Rong Rong, there are so many monsters. Those people, they are all dead. Shui Rong grabbed her hand and comforted her, Yuanyuan, don't be afraid. It's all right now. You're in the academy now. Everything is fine. Are you all right now? Su Yuanyuan stared blankly at Shui Rong. When she saw Shui Rong nodding, she burst into tears. She wanted to hug Shui Rong, but Sima Yuyue pressed her against her chest. The needle is still on you. Don't move. Shui Rong and Su Yuanyuan were both stunned by her actions. Su Yuanyuan even forgot to react. Sima Yuyue let go of her and said, if you move, don't blame me if the needle goes in. Yuyue? Only then did Su Yuanyuan see Yuyue clearly. Then, she remembered that Yuyue was pressing down on her part just now. She immediately blushed. Yuanyuan, you fainted in the violet water swamp. Yuyue woke you up. Shui Rong was afraid that Yuanyuan would say something she shouldn't, so she quickly explained. Oh. Thank you, Yuyue. Xiao Yuanyuan understood and smiled gratefully at Sima Yuyue. Lie down and don't move. I'm going to remove the needles and release the poisonous blood. Sima Yuyue removed the needle from her head. Then, she cut her finger and poured the poisoned blood into the basin that she had prepared earlier. The faint blood flowed for half a plate before it stopped. By the time Sima Yuyue stopped the bleeding, Su Yuanyuan was about to faint due to excessive blood loss. All right. Sima Yuyue stopped the bleeding and gave Su Yuanyuan a pill. Then, she removed the needles and said, the poisonous blood has been released. She's basically fine now. It's just that she lost too much blood. The pill I gave her just now is to replenish her blood. Give her another 2 pills later and she'll be fine. Thank you, Yuyue. Shui Rong said. You're welcome. Since she's fine now, I should go back. I'll send you back. It's okay. She just woke up. You should accompany her. How can I not find my way back in the academy? Sima Yuyue smiled, oh right, I'll go into seclusion later on to prepare for the 3 great conferences. So, I don't want anyone to come and find me. Don't worry. I won't tell anyone about this. Shui Rong promised. However, the news still spread. However, it wasn't from Shui Rong and the others, but from the teachers. It turned out that when Teacher Su was still preparing to save Su Yuanyuan, Shui Rong and the others came and said that Su Yuanyuan had already recovered. Teacher Su was still worried that he wouldn't be able to save her in time. So, he curiously asked Sima Yuyue how she had saved her. When Shui Rong was telling her about it, a student just happened to pass by. When that student heard it, he was shocked and did not know how to keep his mouth shut. As a result, very quickly, the news of Sima Yuyu curing an illness that even the teachers could not cure spread like wildfire across the entire school. The news of the Thunder sect obtaining 30,000 cultivation points hadn't even passed. Then, the news of Sima Yuyu spread. The Thunder sect became a legend in everyone's eyes. Everyone wanted to join them. However, when they went to Sima Yulin's dormitory to look for them, they were already gone. When they asked Tuoba Yen Air and the others, they found out that they had all asked for leave. Sima Yuyue didn't ask for leave. However, not everyone dared to barge into Su Jin's parting garden. At this moment, Sima Yuyue and the others were eating delicious food in the backyard. Little junior brother, just how unlucky are you? You've been out for such a short period of time and you've been injured so many times. Han Miao Shuang nibbled on a drumstick and drank fruit wine. She laughed and teased Sima Yuyue about her bad luck. Sima Yuyue sighed and said, I think I'm pretty unlucky too. She thought about how she had been struck by lightning twice in the few months she had been out. She was almost killed by the death aura. Others didn't have such good luck. Others have only injured their arms and legs. You, on the other hand, injured your entire body. From top to bottom, inside to outside, there's not a single bit that's healed. Kang Junshul rarely joked. However, Sima Yuyue didn't want to laugh at all. Why do I see gloating in your eyes? Sima Yuyue glared at him unhappily. If you laugh at me again, I won't give you anything to eat. How am I laughing at you? I'm just speaking the truth. Kang Junshul said, Look, when have you not been shocked to the core? Let's talk about the time you saved your brother. In the end, you actually got yourself into the chaotic world. Go and get a bird's egg. You struck a few hundred god-ranked and monarch-ranked experts. Then, you struck yourself until there's not a single piece of skin left unscathed. Then, go and check on the news. You were almost killed by the Ghost Clan. Should I say that you're lucky every time, or that you're just too unlucky? Sigh, Sima Yuyue sighed heavily. Senior brother, I'll give you my luck. It's useless even if you give it to me. Kang Junshul skillfully snatched the chicken wing that she had just roasted from her hands. Sima Yuyue was speechless. Did he have to be so skillful? Junior brother, don't worry. Although Master has left, we'll still take care of you. Su Xiao said seriously. Sima Yuyue nodded. She picked up a skewer of tenderloin and continued to roast it. Her face revealed a trace of worry. Han Miao Shuang took a bite of the meat and drank a mouthful of wine. She felt that this feeling was too wonderful. Seeing that Sima Yuyue was in a daze, she used her elbow to poke her and said, Junior brother, you don't have to worry about Master. He said that he had something to do. But from what I see, he just wants to change his current life. Don't worry. Sima Yuyue lifted the corner of her mouth. She wanted to smile, but she couldn't. He even left his life jade behind. Didn't he feel that he would be in danger? Chapter 787. Little junior brother, don't worry. Master is a scourge who lives for thousands of years, he won't die so easily. Kang Junshul said with a poisonous tongue. However, Sima Yuyue could still hear a trace of worry in his voice, but it was not as strong as hers. They don't know where Master went, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't be so calm. Oh right, why isn't Little Seven back yet? Han Miao Shuang asked. Little Seven went to evolve. He won't be back anytime soon. Sima Yuyue said. Little Seven is indeed not human. Su Xiao sighed. Evolution? Kang Junshul narrowed his eyes. Generally, the advancement of spirit beasts could not be called evolution. Only when spirit beasts opened their bloodlines and entered a higher level could it be called evolution. Little Seven had actually evolved. What exactly was she? At this moment, Fatty Chu and the others were still staring blankly at the creature. Is this really Little Seven? Fatty Chu pointed at Little Seven in shock, not daring to believe it. Little Seven's identity is really unexpected. Sima Yuran said while shaking his head. It really is shocking. This time, even Sima Yulin, who had always been calm, was no longer calm. When Yue let them in, she only said that Little Seven was evolving inside, so they came to take a look. They didn't expect to see this scene. No wonder Yue managed to obtain the Eye of the Earth after just a few days. So the owner is here. Wei Ziqi shook his head and laughed. They had been searching for information about the Eye of the Earth ever since they arrived at the inner court, but they had made no progress in the past year. On the other hand, Yue had only been here for a short period of time, but she had already gotten to know Little Seven and had even received a gift from her. Fate was indeed important between people. Since Little Seven is here, then let's sit here and meditate. Sima Yuming said. I heard that Little Seven can help people cultivate and increase the speed of repair. Let's give it a try. Fatty Chu took out a praying mat and placed it beside Little Seven before sitting down. Sima Yulu took a deep breath, saying, This smell is really the same as the one I usually smell in the sect. No, it's much denser. Alright, go and cultivate. Sima Yuming patted him on the back, urging him on. Sima Yulu chuckled as he went to find a praying mat and placed it beside Fatty Chu. After he sat down, he was so excited that he couldn't cultivate. Fatty. He poked Fatty Chu, who seemed to have already entered a meditative state. Can you cultivate? I can't. Fatty Chu didn't even open his eyes as he said blankly. Sima Yulu was amused by the way he was behaving and patted him on the shoulder. Good boy, you can't cultivate and you're still pretending to be so serious. Fatty Chu opened one eye and stared at him, saying, Aren't I trying to calm myself down? Otherwise, I'm afraid I'll have to fly around the spirit pagoda 3 times. Pfft, everyone was amused by his behavior. Fatty, I think you should go fly 3 rounds. Otherwise, you won't be able to cultivate properly in the future. Bei Gong Tang laughed as she said. I think so too. Fatty, you should go fly. Ouyang Fei looked at Fatty Chu, implying that if he didn't fly, he wouldn't be able to cultivate today. You guys, you're all so excited. Don't make me fly alone, let's do it together. Fatty Chu opened both eyes and glared at them. We're excited, but we're not pretending to be serious. Sima Yuran said with a smile. You guys are too bad. Just now, you all said that you wanted to cultivate, but now you're all laughing at me. Fatty Chu was unhappy. Who asked you to be stupid? Wei Ziqi said, Since nobody is in the mood to cultivate, why don't we find something else to do? Yulin, what's wrong with you? Everyone heard what Wei Ziqi said and looked at Sima Yulin. His face was no longer as excited as before. Instead, it was filled with worry. He looked at Little Seven and said worriedly, There are so many people outside, so many forces looking for her. If people know that she's here, I don't know what kind of carnage it will cause. Sigh, that's right. Wei Ziqi sighed as well. Yu's things are all so heaven-defying. Every single one of them will cause an earthquake if the outside world knows about it. That's why we have to keep it a secret for her. Fatty Chu said. Oh right, didn't you say that the 2 ghost clansmen are still in the spirit pagoda? Since we don't want to cultivate, let's go and see the 2 ghost clansmen. That's fine too. Then let's go. Outside the spirit pagoda, Han Miao Shuang hit Sima Yu's arm and said, Yu, it's the tenderloin. Sima Yu lowered her head and looked at the barbecued meat in her hand. It was indeed burnt. Cough cough, I was distracted. She threw the burnt meat aside and picked up a few skewers again. What are you thinking about? Little Seven? Han Miao Shuang asked. Yeah. Sima Yu didn't deny it. Little Seven got first place in the previous Billboard ranking meeting, right? Yeah. It's that little brat. Han Miao Shuang said, if I didn't go out and overhear people talking about it, I wouldn't know that she got first place. What do you plan to participate in? I want to try everything and see where I stand. Sima Yu said, of course, the main focus is still alchemy. If it was in the past, she might have focused on the Billboard ranking meeting. But after this incident, she wanted to bring back some glory for Su Jin. Although, he couldn't see it now and didn't care. Little junior brother, if you were to do alchemy, you would probably scare everyone. Su Xiao said. Senior brother and senior sister, will you be participating in the 3 big meetings? We won't be participating. It's boring to participate every time. Kang Junshul's eyelids were glued together again. Sima Yu suspected that this guy didn't want to eat and was preparing to sleep. She divided the meat skewers into Han Miao Shuang and Su Xiao Zhao's bowls. Kang Junshul opened his eyes immediately and looked at his empty plate, saying, mine. Sima Yu redistributed the meat skewers to the 3 of them. Then she took out a few eggplants and chili and started to roast them. You can roast vegetables too. Han Miao Shuang's eyes lit up. She had never eaten roasted vegetables before. Of course, the taste of roasted vegetables is very good. Especially this eggplant, I like it the most. Sima Yu said as she roasted them. I believe it will be so delicious that even your tongue will want to swallow it. Han Miao Shuang looked at the vegetables in anticipation. Sima Yu roasted the vegetables and shared them, saying, oh right, I thought of something. What? Have you been to the Violet Water Swamp? Violet Water Swamp? Never been there. What happened? Han Miao Shuang and Su Xiao looked at her. Kang Junshul lowered his head and ate the roasted eggplant. She didn't know if he was listening. I suspect that something happened in the Violet Water Swamp. Sima Yu replied. Chapter 788. What's wrong? Kang Junshul's voice was still lazy, but it made Yu feel at ease. Didn't I go to treat Xiao Yuan this morning? Then I realized there was a problem. Sima Yu thought for a while and organized her words. She continued, she was bitten by the phantom worm. That's true. Phantom bug? Wasn't that something that could only be found in the graveyard of the Violet Water Swamp? They went to the cemetery? Han Miao Shuang asked in surprise. It was so easy to talk to professionals. Most books only record that phantom worms live in Violet Water Swamp, and many people only know this. But I didn't know that this can only be found in cemeteries. Sima Yu said, I asked Shui Rong and the rest if they had been to any special places. She said no, they were bitten when they were on a mission in the swamp. If it's just a normal graveyard, there's nothing to hide. But they didn't tell you the truth, so you guess what happened there? Su Xiao asked. Yes. Sima Yu nodded. But I'm just curious. When Xiao Yuan woke up, she was very frightened. It seemed that many people had died. I think the Academy will receive the news soon. Why? Su Xiao asked. So many people have died, the Cliff Mountain Society needs to give the Academy an explanation. Kang Junshul said, now we just have to see if the Academy will announce this news. I don't think so. Han Miao Shuang guessed, for the Cliff Mountain Society to hide this matter for so long, it must not be a small matter. Otherwise, they would have told the Academy when they came back. Now that the 3 great meetings are around the corner and the Billboard rankings are about to be rearranged, this is a matter of utmost importance to the Academy. The teachers will not speak of it at this time and disturb the students' hearts. Thinking about it, it made sense. Then it seems like we won't have a chance to find out what's going on. Sima Yu said. If you want to know, you can look for Director Mao in 2 days. Kang Junshul said, grill me another eggplant. Sima Yu took out another eggplant and placed it on the grill. Seeing Su Xiao and Han Miao Shuang looking at her, she took out another 2 eggplants and said, I don't want to go out now. The students of the academy are too crazy. Ha ha ha. Just hide here. You have nothing to do now anyway. Just stay here and prepare for the 3 great conventions. Su Xiaoxiao laughed. Yeah, I think so too. Sima Yuyue said. By the way, junior brother, tell us about the dark forest. Previously, I only heard Master mention a few words, but didn't go into detail. Han Miaoshuang said, did you guys leave the academy and go to the dark forest? No, we encountered something even worse before we reached the dark forest. There's something worse? Quick, tell me. Actually, it's nothing much. We were just sold by someone. Sima Yuyue was still speechless when she thought about the West Coast desert. Pfft, Han Miaoshuang spat out the wine in her mouth. She didn't care about her image at all. You were sold? She pointed at Sima Yuyue with a face full of disbelief. Su Xiaoxiao glanced at her blankly. He was speechless as he condensed a ball of flame to dry the wine that Su Xiaoxiao spat on him. Even Kang Junchol's lazy eyes had a hint of interest. Come, tell senior brother and senior sister. How were you sold? Senior brother loves to see others suffer. Sima Yuyue was speechless. Why didn't she realize that senior brother was so bad? Junior brother, don't bother about him. Quick, tell us. How were you sold? Han Miaoshuang looked at Sima Yuyue agitatedly. Although she said to ignore Kang Junchol, wasn't she acting just like Kang Junchol? Sima Yuyue put an extra layer of chili on the grilled eggplant. She added a spoonful of salt and some vinegar and placed it on their plates. Then, she started to speak. It's because the sex teleportation array is too deceitful. It didn't send us to the place we wanted to go. Instead, it sent us to the West Coast Desert. West Coast Desert? That's still a far cry from the dark forest. Han Miaoshuang said. Yeah. Sima Yuyue sighed and continued. The West Coast Desert is so big and it's our first time there. The first thing we met was a despicable bald bird. Because it was unhappy that we taught it a lesson, it pointed us in a random direction. It even said that we would reach in 2 days. After that, we flew for 2 days and didn't even see a single bird feather. Pfft! Han Miaoshuang burst out laughing again. I didn't think that you guys would be deceived by a bald bird. Was that the one that was sold? Su Xiaoxiao asked. No, when I said sold, I meant sold. Sima Yuyue said. Don't interrupt. Kang Junchol glanced at the two of them. The two of them stopped talking and waited for Sima Yuyue to continue. Sima Yuyue looked at their sparkling eyes and wanted to poke them with a barbecue skewer. What happened after that? After that, when we realized that we were deceived, we couldn't find that bald bird anymore. Coincidentally, we met a woman at that time. She was quite pretty. Very charming. Han Miaoshuang was speechless. You're a girl. You don't have to describe that woman like that, right? After the previous experience, we decided to let her bring us there. So we gave her money and she brought us to the nearest city. Then she sold you guys? The city that she brought us to was affiliated with a sect. It was a place for minors to rest. Sima Yuyue said. That woman took the other party's money. In the end, she was defeated by Little Seven with one punch. Ha ha ha, Han Miaoshuang knocked the table with her chopsticks. She was laughing so hard that she couldn't breathe. Didn't you give her money to sell you guys? Huh, why would you do such a stupid thing? That sect, could it be the Brave Moon sect? Kang Junchol said. Yes, that's it. Sima Yuyue said. They wanted to put the slave rings on us. In the end, we released all their slaves. Then, not long after, they were destroyed. Damn, those people were you guys? Han Miaoshuang cursed and looked at Sima Yuyue in shock. Sima Yuyue blinked and looked at her in confusion. Previously, there were students who came back and said that the Brave Moon sect offended someone. They asked them to destroy their sect. So, you guys are the ones who have been spreading rumors about you all the time. You all knew? Of course, many people in the sect used to worship those young people. I didn't expect it to be you guys. Han Miao Shuang said in disbelief. I guess the thing they regret the most is that they bought you guys from the West Coast desert. Ha ha ha. Chapter 789. Sima Yuyue looked at the expressions on their faces. She saw them laughing and stuffing her spiced grilled eggplant into their mouths, waiting for their reactions. But these guys were so amused by her that they didn't notice that the smell this time was a little strange. I realized that when little junior brother goes out, it will definitely shake the heavens and earth. Han Miao Shuang said. Did she? Last time when you went back, Teacher Gus said that it made him experience nervousness, excitement, and worry that he hadn't experienced for many years. In the end, you sent yourself to the chaotic world. That was her own thrilling experience, all right? How could it be earth-shattering? After that, you can go out and carry out a mission. You can destroy an entire sect. Although you are just a catalyst, you are also the reason, right? Weren't they the ones who provoked him first? She didn't want to get into that kind of trouble. After that, you annihilated hundreds of experts from hundreds of forces in the dark forest. You were the one who did it. The entire outer perimeter was shaken by that incident, and the foundation was almost shaken. That was because they wanted to snatch Little Two and kill him. She was just retaliating. I went to Bright Red Mountain Peak to investigate, but the ghost race was involved, and I almost died. Whether it was the destruction of a sect, the dark forest, or the Bright Red Mountain Peak, which one of them was not an earth-shattering event? Yeah, what's with that expression of yours? Are you going to deny it? Han Miao Shuang looked at Sima Yuyue and wanted to poke her with a chopstick, but she was hit back with a barbecue stick. I also think that the things that little junior brother does are very fun. Kang Junshul said, since it's so fun, then let's go together in the future. Cough cough, Sima Yuyue almost choked on her own saliva. She looked at Kang Junshul in shock and said, You're not joking, right? Are you kidding me? Kang Junshul said with a serious face, Master is no longer here. As your senior brothers, we naturally have to protect you and teach you well. It's only right that I go out with you. Give me another one. Don't add so much salt, pepper, and vinegar. Sima Yuyue looked at Kang Junshul in amusement. This guy usually looked lazy and did not care about anything. She did not expect him to have such a shameless side. Kang Junshul, on the other hand, had other ideas. Before Su Jin left, he did tell them to take care of Sima Yuyue. Although she didn't come for long, she was indeed young in their eyes. She was just a fraction of their age, so they had to add another digit in front of her age. The person Su Jin chose was the same as him, stubborn. Since they were together, they were a family and had to support each other. It was their duty to take care of her. Birds of a feather flock together. Otherwise, how could Su Jin have only taken in 4 disciples after living for several hundred years? By the way, junior brother, what's the matter with the mineral load of the Brave Moon sect? Su Xiaoxiao asked. Those rumors are so exaggerated. Is the mine really gone? It should be. Sima Yuyue said, at that time, we also ran away together and did not pay attention to whether or not there was anyone behind us. When Kang Junshul heard her words, he smiled and did not say anything. Junior brother, there's something that Master has always wanted to ask you. Unfortunately, he didn't have the chance. Kang Junshul looked straight at Sima Yuyue and said. Sima Yuyue looked at Kang Junshul's eyes and felt a little scared. Did this guy know that she was lying? When she was thinking about how to deal with it, Kang Junshul said something that surprised her even more. The 10 great villains are now your people, right? He smiled faintly, the expression on his face was both evil and righteous. Sima Yuyue could not see his thoughts for a moment. She thought about it and did not immediately deny it. Instead, she asked, how do you know? This was admitting that the 10 great villains were now her people. Master said so. Kang Junshul pushed the blame to Su Jin. Usually, I don't see you and Master talking much. Both of you sleep whenever you have time. Could it be that you have sex in your dreams? Han Miao Shuang interrupted. Sima Yue originally had a little bit of vigilance in her heart, but it was immediately washed away by her words. That's right, they are now my people. She said, how did Master guess? You took on 3 missions. Master knew when you left with them. When he saw the 10 great villains with your brother and the others, he guessed that they were in cahoots. He also saw that one of them was sickly, so he guessed that you made a deal with them. Master guessed correctly, right? Yes, you're right. Sima Yue did not continue to roast meat. She sat on her seat and took out a glass of wine. She said faintly, but, did Master guess it or did you guess it? Isn't it the same whoever guessed it? Kang Junshul moved his body and said, anyway, the result is the same. Result? Master asked the Academy's mission office to withdraw this mission. Withdraw? Sima Yue was surprised. Master asked for it to be withdrawn? He still has some status in the Academy. He has the right to withdraw a mission. Sima Yue was silent for a while and asked, then why is senior brother asking me this? Actually, it's nothing. I just wanted to ask, what are you planning to let them do, if there's anything fun? Kang Junshul said casually. She took 2 deep breaths and said, no. Really? No. She said with certainty. She did not want them to know about the matter of forming a force. Not to mention the fact that they hadn't succeeded yet. Even if they did, they had to make sure that as few people as possible knew about their existence in the future. Alright, since you don't want to say, then to protect your safety and complete Master's instructions, we can only follow you at all times. If you do something dangerous and something happens, you die or become disabled. How are we going to answer to Master? Kang Junshul looked as if it was up to her to say it or not, which made her gnash her teeth in anger. Sima Yue gritted her teeth. She had the urge to pounce on him and beat him up. Fox, a black-bellied fox. It won't do you any good to know. It's not up to you to decide if there are any benefits. If it's really not good, then we'll choose not to hear about it. You're ruthless. I asked them to find a place for me to form a force. Form a force? Really? Han Miao Shuang and Su Xiao stared at Sima Yue in shock. Even Kang Junshul was surprised. He looked at her with a deep gaze. Little junior brother, are you right? You want to form a force? Han Miao Shuang felt that she was being pressured too much by Kang Junshul and spoke nonsense. Chapter 790. Sima Yue glanced at the 3 of them. Since she had said so, she would not lie to them. Why are you forming a force? Kang Junshul asked. He and Su Jin had thought of many possibilities. They thought that she was going to do something dangerous, so they wanted to ask her. She was still so young, so she shouldn't do those dangerous things. But she actually wanted to establish a force. This was really beyond his expectations. Of course I have something to do. Sima Yue said. Little junior brother, you still want to establish a force? Why didn't you invite me for such a fun thing? Han Miao Shuang ran to her side and reached out to pinch her cheeks. Then, she began to rub them. Sima Yue struggled to escape from the devil's claws and said, I didn't build it for fun. Then what did you build it for? Han Miao Shuang looked at her curiously. Senior sister, don't ask about this. Don't tell me you're going to rob and rob. Senior sister, that's enough. We're fellow disciples. Don't tell me you really don't want to tell me. It's not that I don't want to, but I can't. Sima Yue said, what I'm going to do is very dangerous. It's not something ordinary. When Han Miao Shuang heard this, she hooked her neck and said faintly, what you mean is that your senior sister is someone who is afraid of danger and can't tell me about this? Senior sister, the more you don't say it, the more I want to know. How about it, are you going to tell me? Han Miao Shuang smiled, her arms around Yu Yu's neck tightened. Sima Yuyue was more powerful than her, so she could easily break free, but she did not do so. Senior sister, I haven't started yet. I'll tell you when I'm done. You haven't started yet? Does that mean it's going to be done later? Why don't I do it with you? Han Miao Shuang's eyes lit up with interest. Senior sister, it's not that I don't want you to do it, but once I find out, I can't withdraw. Wouldn't it be bad if I implicate you? Don't be afraid. I, your senior sister, have no father, no mother, and no clan. It doesn't matter if I'm implicated. Anyway, there's nothing exciting to do in the academy all day. Sima Yuyue could not find an excuse. Little junior brother, if you don't let me participate, I won't keep it a secret for you. I'll tell Xiao Xiao and the others. All right then. I'll tell you later. Sima Yuyue compromised this time. That's it? Su Xiao Xiao looked at Sima Yuyue and told Han Miao Shuang, junior brother, let me join too. It seems pretty good. Xiao Xiao, are you planning to sweep the floor of junior brother's sect? Before Sima Yuyue could speak, Han Miao Shuang spoke first. You're the one sweeping the floor. Su Xiao Xiao said unhappily, we are all fellow disciples. You can't just tell her and not us. Then why don't you go and grasp junior brother's secret? Then see if little junior brother will tell you. Han Miao Shuang said proudly. What secret do you know? I already said it's a secret. How can I tell you? Han Miao Shuang lifted her chin, showing that she was in a good mood. You want the 10 great villains to help you build a force. Do you want to build a villains gang? Kang Junshul was not as agitated as Su Xiao Xiao and guessed. You can say so. Sima Yuyue said. Master said not to let you go out because there are many people out there who want to kill you. So it's hard to say if you want to build a force. Threat. It was a blatant threat. Of course, if you let us join in, it'll be different. Bad guy. I don't have any parents or clan here. Kang Junshul added. Pa, the wine glass in her hand shattered, but her hand was not hurt at all. Don't be angry. Didn't I give you a choice? Kang Junshul said with a smile. He was not intimidated by Sima Yuyue's aura at all. What do you mean I don't have any parents or clan here? Do you mean there are other places? Then I can't tell you. She shrugged and said. It won't affect your business. Maybe I can help you. Sima Yuyue looked at him in confusion. Her mind was quickly turning over the memories. It seemed that there was no famous Jiang family on the road. Little brother, if you want to tell them, you can't not tell me. Su Xiao Xiao said quickly when she saw Sima Yuyue's silence. She thought he agreed. Sima Yuyue sighed and said, you don't have to do this. I don't know what master said to you to take care of me, but there are some things that you don't have to do. Since I've made the decision, I won't change it. Kang Junshul said, say it. Sima Yuyue closed her eyes and thought for a while. She said, then I'll tell you. We set up the force to kill people. Because the other party is very strong and not easy to deal with. In order to prevent people from retreating and to avoid involving the innocent, we plan to only choose those outlaws. That's why you chose the 10 great villains. Kang Junshul said. Sima Yuyue nodded. Then you also plan to choose those outlaws in the future? Sima Yuyue nodded again. It's not easy to tame those people to follow you. Kang Junshul had seen many such people when he went out with Su Jin. But once they surrender, they will be willing. I know. Sima Yuyue said. Okay, then when are we going to choose? We? Sima Yuyue looked at her and said, you're going too. You're going too, how can we let you go alone? That's right. Han Miao Shuang poked Sima Yuyue's head and said, how can we let you go alone? Of course we're going together. When are you planning to go? Su Xiao Xiao asked. You're going too? Sima Yuyue was helpless. Of course. Both of them are going, how can I stay in the academy alone? It's dirty outside. Sima Yuyue tried to change her mind. I'll clean myself. Su Xiao said without hesitation. Okay then. You guys. Don't regret it. Sima Yuyue said. What's there to regret? Han Miao Shuang said, if I continue to live an ordinary life, I'll regret it when I'm old. You. Sigh. Sima Yuyue shook her head. She didn't agree with her idea of going with her for the sake of excitement. When are we going? We haven't chosen the place yet. We haven't done anything yet. We'll talk about it after the 3 great meetings. Okay, then let's wait for the 3 great meetings to end. Kang Junchul said. At this time, a small paper crane flew in from outside the courtyard and stopped in front of them. Chapter 791. What's this? Su Xiao wanted to catch the paper crane, but the paper crane quickly dodged and landed in front of Sima Yuyue. This is Xiang Yi's paper crane. Sima Yuyue reached out and the paper crane landed on her palm. Her spiritual power dissipated and it became an ordinary paper crane. I've heard that Kong Valley has a skill that can turn paper into spirit beasts. It seems like it's true. Kang Junchul looked at the paper crane thoughtfully. Sima Yuyue opened the paper crane and glanced at the message on it. I need to go out for a while. Now? They're waiting for me outside, saying that they have something to tell me. Also, a few friends that I met at Bright Red Mountain Peak were worried about me, so they followed Fatty and the rest over. I want to meet them too. Sima Yuyue said, Senior brother Su, I'll have to trouble you to pack up these things. Okay, go ahead. Su Xiao nodded. Go early and come back early. Come back and tell us in detail about your situation. Han Miao Shuang said. All right. You're going out just like that? Aren't you afraid of being surrounded by those students? Sima Yuyue thought about it and called Thousand Resonance out. She fused with him and changed into another appearance. I'm leaving. She straightened her clothes and strode out of the parting garden. The fusion of spiritual techniques of the Sima family. Kang Junchul muttered, our little junior brother has many secrets. You recognized it too? Han Miao Shuang said. It's so easy to recognize. How can I not recognize it? Kang Junchul said, it's just that we don't know what kind of relationship our little junior brother has with the Sima family. Little junior brother came from the continent below, there is no doubt about that. However, the spiritual techniques of the Sima family were never taught to outsiders. This was for sure. If they knew about junior brother's existence, I don't know how they would deal with it. Han Miao Shuang said worriedly. What's there to be afraid of? Kang Junchul waved his sleeves. Our master is not someone who can be easily bullied. Who dares to bully our little junior brother? With master's temperament, wouldn't he destroy the other party's house? Isn't what happened to you the best proof of that? Han Miao Shuang thought back to that year when she had just acknowledged him as her master. When he found out that she wasn't living well in the family, he went to get back at her and dealt with all the people who had bullied her in the family. Then, he told those people in the family that she had nothing to do with them from now on. In the end, he took her and left. Her lips curled into a smile. At this moment, her smile was so beautiful. Yes, Master is indeed the best master in the world. But when Master went out this time, he even left behind his life tablet. I think he must have met with misfortune. Su Xiao said. Where did Master go? Master is trying to find a way to prolong junior brother's life. Kang Junchul said. He spoke with Su Jin alone for a while before he left, telling him some things as well as the reason for his departure. However, he only said that he was going to look for a solution. He did not say why. What's wrong with junior brother? Su Xiao and Han Miao Shuang were shocked. Kang Junchul shook his head. Master is fine. He just told us to take good care of junior brother. Sigh, Sima Yue changed her appearance. When she left Parting Garden, she saw many people strolling outside intentionally or unintentionally. When they saw her come out, they all looked over. When they saw that it was someone they didn't know, they turned their gaze away. Sima Yue smiled. When she left the living area of the inner sect, she removed the fusion and returned to her original appearance. Then, she went to the teleportation array. The two people guarding the array were still the same two people. When they saw Sima Yue, their eyes flashed with passion. However, when they thought of Yuan Shaojie's words, they could only suppress their thoughts. Yue, are you going out? De Wei asked with a smile. Yes. There's something I need to go back for. Sima Yue took out Su Jin's token and handed it to De Wei. De Wei took it and looked at it casually before returning it to her. Go. Be careful. Don't forget that there are many people who want to kill you. Sima Yue kept the token and said with a smile, I know. However, I think that those people won't dare to cause trouble in Heavenly City. Thank you both for your concern. She stood on the teleportation array and Little Wei activated it. Then, she left. Sima residence. Shimin Feng was chatting with Sima Lai while Kong Sangyi was sitting at the side. When he saw that Sima Yue had returned, he stood up and looked at her carefully. Are you alright? I'm fine. Aren't I fine now? Sima Yue said with a smile. Yue, are you injured? Sima Lai walked over and looked at her from head to toe. Sima Yue saw him like this and knew that they didn't tell him about her situation. Grandfather, I'm fine. I just suffered a small injury before. Small injury? Would they hide it from us if it was a small injury? When those guys come back, I'll definitely teach them a lesson. Sima Lai said. He knew that those guys were acting weird that day. They were indeed hiding Yo Yue's injury from him. Grandfather, I'm fine now, aren't I? Sima Yue held his arm, brother, and the others were afraid that you would be worried, so they didn't tell you. Don't be angry about the past. She shook his arm and begged for mercy. No, I have to teach them a lesson. Otherwise, they'll hide everything from me in the future. That won't do. Sima Lai said angrily. Grandfather. Sima Yue kept shaking his arm. Sima Lai looked at his precious granddaughter and couldn't be angry anymore. He sighed and asked, Are you seriously injured this time? If it wasn't serious, those guys wouldn't have hidden it from him. Sima Yue nodded and said, When I was fighting with the Ghost Clan, I was hit with a death aura. In the end, it caused the death aura in my body to explode. I couldn't control it and gave them a chance to rebel. After that, Master brought me back to the academy and the principal and the others healed me. So it's nothing serious. Sima Lai glared at her and said, Do you really think that grandfather doesn't know anything? Hearing you say it, I know it's serious, but you still say it so casually. Isn't it all in the past? Brother and the others only heard about it from their friends and didn't see me with their own eyes, so how would they dare to tell you about my situation? What if they said something serious and scared you? Sima Yue said with a smile. I'll stay by your side in the future. Sima Lai said, Anyway, we don't have much to spend, so we can just cultivate in the spirit pagoda. I'll be more at ease if I follow you. Sima Yue hesitated for a moment, but still nodded and said, That's good too. Anyway, there's more time in there, so it'll be faster to cultivate. I was afraid that you guys wouldn't be able to interact with anyone in there and would feel bored. Then I'll go and discuss with the three of them. You siblings have things to discuss too. I won't disturb you guys. Sima Lai finished speaking and went to look for Sang Muyu and the others. Chapter 792. Sima Yue and Shimin Feng came to their seats and sat down. They took out the small paper crane and returned it to Kong Sangyi. Is there really no problem with your injury? I heard from them that your situation at that time was very frightening. Even Su Jin couldn't do anything. Shimin Feng was a little worried about her. It was a little scary at the time, but it's fine now. I won't joke about my body. Sima Yue said. Why did you call me out in a small paper box? And, there is indeed something. Shimin Feng said, but you are the most important. Alright, I know you're worried about me. Now that you see that I am fine, can you tell me what happened? Sima Yue was amused by Shimin Feng and asked with a smile. We're here to ask you something. Kong Sangyi said, we previously obtained an array formation, but we don't know how to break it. That's why we came to you for help. Array formation? Your Kong Valley should have an array master, right? Sima Yue asked doubtfully. But our array master said that this array formation is not the current array formation, so there is no way to break it. Kong Sangyi said, we thought that you would know some ancient array formations, so we wanted to ask you for help. Asking for help? What's wrong? Are you guys trapped in that formation? Sima Yue asked. Yes. These are the parts that our formation masters drew based on the information they sent out. Kong Sangyi took out a piece of paper and passed it to Sima Yue. Sima Yue took it and opened it. There was only a part of the array, and only one corner was drawn in detail. She looked at it for a while and said, this should be a graveyard array, right? Yes, it's the graveyard's array formation. Can you solve it? Kong Sangyi asked excitedly. Sima Yue frowned and thought for a while, then said, there are too few arrays. It's similar to several other formations, but I'm not sure which one it is. He could only be sure if he saw it with his own eyes. Where is this array formation from? Kong Sangyi was silent for a moment, then said, this came from a tomb in the Violet Water Swamp. The mausoleum in the Violet Water Swamp? Why was it the Violet Water Swamp again? What's wrong, sister? Shimin Feng asked when he saw Sima Yue frowning. Nothing, I'm just curious as to why there's such an ancient formation in the Violet Water Swamp. Sima Yue said. How did the Kong Valley people get trapped here? This is something they discovered by accident. The disciples in the valley went to the Violet Water Swamp to complete their mission. Then, they hurried over to take a look. There seemed to be some movement there. In the end, he accidentally fell into a swamp. Below the swamp was a mausoleum. Since they had discovered this place, they naturally had to explore it. Who knew that they would be trapped in the array formation in the end? It's a good thing that Jing Huan knows a little about arrays. After he contacted the outside world, he spread the news. Jing Huan? Don't tell me it's Jing Huan who was trapped in the West Coast desert. Sima Yue raised her brows. Of course it's him. After Jing Wen found out that you saved his brother, he kept saying that he wanted to thank you. He just escaped from the West Coast desert. How did he get trapped again? Sima Yue felt that this guy's luck was too good. He went with Jing Wen. I was worried about them, so I let the disciples in the valley go with them. Kong Sangyi said. So you're saying that Jing Wen is also inside? Sima Yue asked. Yes. Kong Sangyi hesitated for a moment, then said, I know that your school is holding a competition soon, but can you go over and take a look? Jing Wen said that there are many mechanisms inside. I'm afraid that they won't be able to hold on for long. I can ask for leave to take a look and give it a try. But I might not be able to break it. I don't have 100% confidence either. Sima Yue said. Really? Thank you, Yue. But I have to go back to the school to ask for leave. Sima Yue said, this time I'm afraid that it will take some time. Although my master is not here, I still have to go back and tell the school. Okay. Then we'll wait for you. Before I go back, I have to go to Memory Restaurant. A few friends are still waiting for my news. Sima Yue said. Friends? They are the disciples of the heroic sword sect that I met at Bright Red Mountain Peak. They were worried about me because I was injured, so they followed me. Sima Yue explained. I'll go with you. Shiman Fong said. No need. I won't get lost. Sima Yuyue said, I'll go see them and then go back to the school. I can go by myself. Okay then. Sima Yuyue went to greet Sima Lai and left. Sima Lai felt that his decision was right. Ever since he came up, he had spent too little time with the children. But he couldn't go with them immediately. He still had to settle the matters of Memory Restaurant. Sima Yuyue went to Memory Restaurant. The shopkeeper saw her and immediately welcomed her. Young master. Shopkeeper, the friends that brother brought last time, are they still staying here? Sima Yuyue asked. Yes. They're in the first few rooms on the 3rd floor. The shopkeeper said. Oh, then I'll go up by myself. You can go do your work. Sima Yuyue said and went upstairs. When she came to the room at the end, she heard voices inside. She listened carefully and after confirming that they were chatting, she knocked on the door lightly. Who is it? Yu Qing opened the door and saw Sima Yuyue standing outside. She said in surprise, Yuyue, you're better? Boss is here. Chi Wei came over and saw Sima Yuyue standing outside their door. He hugged her happily. Boss, if you didn't come, I wouldn't have been able to hold on. Cough cough, Sima Yuyue almost couldn't breathe from his hug. She patted his arm and asked him to let her go. What do you mean you couldn't hold on? Why does this sound so ambiguous? Sima Yuyue walked in and only then did she notice the 2 strangers in the room. This is? They are Chi Wei's brothers. They're here to bring him back. Blue Blade explained. At the same time, they were here to see what kind of person their brother called boss was. Chi Wei then introduced them to each other. Little brother, you've seen him now. It's time to go back with us. One of Chi Wei's brothers said. Oh. Chi Wei seemed to listen to his brother. Although he was reluctant to part with Sima Yuyue, he still nodded his head obediently. Boss, I'm relieved to see that you're better. Don't pull a long face. It's not like we won't see each other again. Sima Yuyue said. Boss, if you go to the central region, remember to look for me. Chi Wei said a long list of ways to find him in the central region. At this moment, one of the mother-son stones in her space ring suddenly moved. Chapter 793. Crazy Wife, Godly Doctor 5th Miss Chapter 2, Gift-Giving Category, Wuxia Cultivation Author, Fan Gumu Book Title, Sima Yuyue took out the mother stone and smiled apologetically at Blue Blade and the others. She inserted her spirit energy into it and said, Eldest senior brother. Little junior brother, when are you coming back? Kang Junchol's lazy voice made them wonder if he was already asleep. I'll be back in a while. What's the matter? There's something I wanted to discuss with you. Since you're coming back, I'll wait for you to come back. Kang Junchol said. Oh. Then I'll go back early. Alright, wake me up when you come back. Kang Junchol's voice became softer and softer. Needless to say, he must have fallen asleep. Sure enough, a small voice came from inside. Kang Junchol, can't you go back to the house and sleep? You're blocking me from cleaning. Sima Yuyue smiled at Blue Blade and the others. Seeing that they were a little surprised, she explained, my eldest senior brother likes to sleep. I've embarrassed myself in front of you. The world is so big. There will always be people with special hobbies. It's not strange that he likes to sleep. Blue Blade said. How's your injury? Zhou Lan asked. It's already healed. I heard from my brothers that you came back especially to see me. Thank you. You're my boss. That's right, boss. I'm going back now. Do you have any parting gifts for me? For example, those little metal balls. I want to play with them. Chi Wei came in front of her and looked at her expectantly. Little metal balls? Sima Yuyue looked at Chi Wei in confusion. It's the small metal balls that the people from your school used in Rhinoceros Valley. Insert a bit of spirit energy into it and it can explode. Qi Wei explained, the last time I saw the people from your school use it, it looked really cool. Can you help me get a few to play with? You're talking about that little metal ball. Sima Yu immediately knew what it was when she heard about the little metal ball that would explode after injecting her spirit power. That's right. Over the past few days, we've been looking around the shops here, but we haven't seen any of those little metal balls. Blue Blade said that they were probably developed by your academy, and they haven't been sold outside yet. I'm about to leave, so I can only look for you, Qi Wei said with a chuckle. Seeing that Sima Yuyue did not speak, the excitement on his face faded a little. He said, could this be the secret weapon of your academy that you can't reveal to outsiders? Sima Yuyue saw the bitter expression on his face because of her guess and laughed out loud. It's not a secret weapon. It's just something that Fatty developed for fun. Since you like it, I'll give you some. She took out a few and handed them to Qi Wei, who happily put them away. Thank you, boss. Sima Yuyue thought that since she had already given a few to Qi Wei, she should give some to the others as well. Hence, she took out a dozen more and gave a few to each of them. Fatty is lazy. I don't have a lot of these on me, so don't complain. When Blue Blade and the others saw that Qi Wei wanted the small metal ball, they also wanted it. However, they were not as direct as Qi Wei, so they were too embarrassed to ask. Now that Yuyue was giving it to them, they did not hesitate and accepted the small metal ball with thanks. Boss, was this really developed by Fatty? Qi Wei asked curiously. That's right. Fatty is the only one in the world who knows how to make this. It's his exclusive product, Sima Yuyue said. When she heard Qi Wei talk about the power of Fatty's small balls on that day, she saw the expressions of Xian Minglang and the others. She guessed that part of the reason they came here was because of this. However, they were not bad people. Giving them some of these wouldn't be a big deal. It could even help Fatty advertise, so why not? Alright, little brother, we should go, one of Qi Wei's brothers urged. Qi Wei made an oh sound, then looked at Sima Yuyue. Boss, I'll go back first. Remember to find me when you reach the central regions. Don't forget about me, or I'll be sad. Sima Yuyue saw the reluctance in Qi Wei's eyes. She took out 2 jade bottles and said, these things are for you. What is this? Qi Wei opened the lid. A thick pill smell wafted out. What a thick pill smell. Boss, these pills must be very valuable, right? It's alright, Sima Yuyue said. Keep it. Who knows, you might be able to use it to save your life. Qi Wei put the things away and heavily patted Yuyue's shoulder. Boss, you're so good to me. I'm so touched. Qi Wei's other brother was the practical type. Seeing that he was still hesitating, he took out a boundary breaker talisman and opened a spatial passage. Let's go. Qi Wei saw that the spatial passage was open and knew that he could not delay any longer. He said goodbye and left with his 2 brothers. Sima Yuyue saw that the spatial passage was closed and the powerful aura in the room finally dissipated. Qi Wei's family should be very powerful. His 2 elder brothers have such a strong aura. She sighed. Blue Blade nodded. It's a powerful family in the central regions. Sima Yuyue chatted with them for a while and heard them talk about the new powers in Bright Red Mountain Peak. Then, she bid farewell and returned to the academy. Blue Blade and the others saw her situation and obtained the information they wanted. They left Tianfu City the next day. Sima Yuyue rushed back that night. Because she was thinking about something, she forgot to disguise herself. Thus, when she arrived at the inner courtyard, she was surrounded by students who were still walking around outside. Fortunately, at this time, most people were either cultivating or resting, so there weren't many students outside. After a few words, she quickly slipped away and hid in the parting garden. Those students followed her to the parting garden. After seeing her enter, they left unwillingly. Sima Yuyue stood in the parting garden. She patted her chest and let out a long sigh of relief. These guys are too crazy. They don't look like seniors at all. That's because you don't look like a new student either. Su Xiao appeared in front of her and smiled at her. Sigh, it seems like I have to be more careful the next time I go out. At least wait until this situation is over. Sima Yue said. Oh right, where's eldest senior brother? He's sleeping in his room. Su Xiao said. I don't know why he's looking for me. Sima Yue said. Then I'll wait until he wakes up tomorrow. She would apply for leave tomorrow. He said that we'll go look for him when you're back. Let's go. Sima Yue saw Su Xiao's expression. It seemed like he didn't know what was going on either. When they went upstairs, they knocked on Han Miaoshuang's door. She quickly opened the door and came out. She followed them to Kang Junshul's room. Alright, youngest junior brother is here. Kang Junshul, tell me your plans. Han Miaoshuang grabbed a chair and sat down. Sima Yue looked at her and then looked at Kang Junshul. What was it that he had to wait for her to come back before he could say it? Your arrival is the greatest support for us. If you like it, then introduce more friends. Chapter 794. Kang Junshul lazily sat up from the bed and took a pillow. He leaned against the wall behind him and moved his body. After he was comfortable, he said, Today, Director Mao called me over to talk about the Rock Mountain Club. Sima Yue was not surprised. Shui Rong's incident had killed so many students, it was impossible to hide it. Moreover, judging from Xiao Yuanyuan's appearance, the things that had happened inside were definitely not small. It was not something that they could handle on their own. The only thing they could do was to inform the academy and let them deal with it. However, she was a little surprised that the academy would tell Kang Junshul about this. Could it be that they accidentally stumbled into a mausoleum, and everyone who went in died, leaving only Xiao Yuanyuan who desperately ran out? Sima Yue said. You guessed right, Kang Junshul said. Then how did Xiao Yuanyuan get out? Sima Yue asked. As far as I know, there should be a very ancient array in the tomb. Su Yuanyuan said that they didn't enter the formation. Because there were people inside, they stopped in their tracks. However, they were still affected by the array formation and 7 or 8 people died. Because Su Yuanyuan was at the back, she ran faster. It must be those people behind them who helped them stall for time. She's lucky. Sima Yue sighed. If not, why are they looking for you? Su Yuanyuan said that she saw some creatures that she had never seen before. They looked very ancient. She was worried that something was wrong, so she wanted to send someone to take a look. So they want us to go? Sima Yue blinked. It's not us, it's you. Kang Junshul looked at Yue, but since you're going, we have to go too. So, it's right for us to go. Looking for me? You want me to go? Sima Yue was really shocked. Are you kidding me? How could the academy let little junior brother go? That's too dangerous. Su Xiao was surprised. If we let junior brother go, wouldn't we be putting him in danger? Han Miaoshuang disagreed. I haven't even finished, and you've already said so much, Kang Junshul said. Who told you to pant for so long? Su Xiao complained. Hurry up and tell me what happened. Han Miaoshuang urged. The academy is preparing to send people over. Because they know of the existence of the array, they went to look for the 2 people guarding the array. However, the 2 of them said that since ancient creatures had appeared, perhaps the array formation inside was also relatively ancient. So they want Yue to go with them, Kang Junshul said. Big Wei and Little Wei? Han Miaoshuang raised her eyebrows. It's them, Kang Junshul said. Junior brother knows arrays? Su Xiao looked at Sima Yue in surprise. Of course she knows how to set up formations. Kang Junshul looked at her. If you don't know how could you know how to enter our courtyard from the start? Weren't we the ones who brought her in the first time? She knew how to do it herself. She just didn't want to show off in front of you, so she followed you in. Su Xiaoxiao slapped her thigh and said excitedly, "That's right." At that time, I was wondering how Junior Brother could grasp the steps so quickly. Junior Brother, you're teasing me. Junior Brother didn't want to scare you. Han Miao Shuang said. After that, she wanted to verify it. Isn't that right, Junior Brother? I didn't think that Junior Brother was actually an array master. Su Xiaoxiao thought of her perfect alchemy skills and sighed. Actually, the two of you didn't notice. Didn't Master mention it last time, that the array formation was set up by Junior Brother? Kang Junchul said. If the two of you thought more, you wouldn't be so surprised today. Su Xiaoxiao and Han Miao Shuang thought about it and agreed. Then Junior Brother wants to go with them? Yes. Kang Junchul nodded. I already agreed. How could you agree? How dangerous is it for Junior Brother to go out? There are so many people outside who want to kill him. If they know that he went out, then... Xiao, are you stupid? Did you forget that Master said that Junior Brother was in disguise? No one would know that it was him. As long as he didn't use that move, no one would recognize him. Han Miao Shuang said. That's true. Su Xiaoxiao smiled. I'm not worried about that. Han Miao Shuang said. I'm worried about the danger of this matter. Since the sect asked Big Wei and Little Wei to go together, it means that the situation there is very dangerous. Will Junior Brother be in trouble? There will definitely be danger. That's why they want us to go together. Kang Junchul said. Aya, it's my first time going out with Junior Brother. I'm a little excited. Han Miao Shuang clapped her hands and looked at Sima Yuyue. What are you excited about? Fun things always happen when he goes out. Who knows, it might be the same this time. Han Miao Shuang said. Sima Yuyue looked at them and settled the matter with their words. You haven't asked for my opinion. Han Miao Shuang walked over and hugged her shoulder. Junior Brother, you can't reject us. We have to protect you. Or do you not want to go? Sima Yuyue shook her head. I came back tonight because I wanted to ask for leave from the sect. Where are you going? Violet Water Swamp. You plan to go alone? My friends came to find me. They said that their people were trapped in the tomb and wanted me to help take a look. Then we can go together. Did the sect say when we're leaving? If possible, tomorrow morning. Then I'll let them know. I'll also let Instructor Mao know. The next morning, they set off. Sima Yuyue didn't go with Kong Sangyi and the others. She only asked them to meet at Jialing City near the Violet Water Swamp. Heavenly Sect was led by Fan Lei, Big Wei, Little Wei, and a few other teachers. Sima Yuyue found that she didn't know many of these teachers. They shouldn't be the teachers who usually taught students. Other than these teachers, the rest were Sima Yuyue and her three senior siblings, Shui Rong and Shu Yuan. Fan Lei directly broke through the passage. When they came out of the void, they were already outside Jialing City. Yuyue, Shimen Feng and Kong Sangyi, who had been waiting outside the city, called out when they saw Sima Yuyue coming out. Sima Yuyue waved for them to come over. Then she briefly introduced them to each other. Xiang Yi, where are the people in your valley? She asked. They're in the Violet Water Swamp. Dean Fan, since that's the case, let's go to the Violet Water Swamp earlier. Sima Yuyue saw that Kong Sangyi was a little anxious. She knew that he was worried about Jing Wen and the others and wanted to go earlier. Fan Lei also wanted to confirm the situation there. He nodded. Then let's go and take a look. Chapter 795. Since Xiao Yuanyuan said that they had seen people down there, it should be Jing Wen and the others, Crazy Wife, Divine Dr. 5th Miss Chapter 795. Therefore, both parties had the same destination. Violet Water Swamp. Because this place was filled with violet plants, it made the swamp look like violet water, hence the name Violet Water Swamp. The place they were going to wasn't very far from Jiaoling City. The group flew for more than a day before arriving at their destination. The Violet Water Swamp was not particularly large, only covering a radius of 1,000,000 miles. However, there was a long mountain range behind her that stretched as far as the eye could see. People who wanted to gain experience liked to go to the back of the mountain range, where there were many opportunities and treasures. However, very few people dared to come to Violet Water Swamp because there were always many unknown dangers. They dismounted from their flying beasts, and the Kong Valley's people immediately came forward to welcome them. "Mississippi, how are Jingwen and the others?" Kong Sangyi asked. Not long ago, they sent out another message saying that they can't hold on any longer. There are many strange creatures outside their protective circle. If they still can't break the formation, I'm afraid they will. Yuyue. Kong Sangyi looked at Sima Yuyue. Sima Yuyue nodded and said, "I'll try my best." With the two teachers around, the chances of success should be higher. I need to check with the teachers first. Yes. Sima Yuyue patted her shoulder and turned to look for Big Wei and Little Wei. Shiman Feng said, "Don't worry, nothing will happen to the disciples of the valley." She didn't say no directly, which means she still has some confidence. I believe her too. Sima Yuyue came to Wei and the others and bowed to them. "Yuyue, do you see anything?" Big Wei asked. "When I was in the sky just now, I observed the terrain here. This place looks like an ordinary basin swamp, but if you look at it together with the mountain range in the distance, this place has excellent feng shui. Unfortunately, too much time has passed and the feng shui here has changed." Sima Yuyue said. "What kind of terrain is this? How did it change?" a teacher asked. Looking at the entire mountain range, the horizontal and vertical direction, it looks like a soaring dragon. And this basin is like the dragon's pearl. Sima Yuyue explained, "The Dragon Ball is the source of the giant dragon's power, so it is the best place to bury the tomb. Unfortunately, this place used to be scorching hot and dry. Because too much time had passed, this place had become a swamp. When fire turns to water, the feng shui will naturally change." "Is the water dragon ball not good?" the teacher asked. "Of course not." Sima Yuyue pointed at the mountain range in the distance and said, "Because that's a fire dragon. The fire spirit pearl has turned into a water spirit pearl." "Do you think this place is good?" Although the teacher didn't know much about feng shui, he knew that fire and water were incompatible. "Then how do you know it's a fire dragon?" Su Xiaoxiao asked. "It's too profound to explain. I'll tell you when I have time," Sima Yuyue said. "This place of great fortune has become a place of great calamity. Naturally, some things that shouldn't exist will grow." "Is what she said true?" Fan Lei looked at Wei and asked. Wei looked at Sima Yuyue with satisfaction. This brat was really out of his expectations. Her knowledge was indeed extraordinary. And seeing that she was so familiar with feng shui, he guessed that she wasn't just an array master. Among all the major professions, seeker spirit masters were the most knowledgeable about feng shui. Thinking of this, he looked at Sima Yuyue with a deeper gaze. "Then what do we do now?" Fan Lei asked. "We still have to take a look," Wei said. "Big brother, there should be a drainage array here," Little Wei said, "but we don't know who tampered with it." "So you're saying that someone purposely created such a place of great calamity?" Han Miao Shuang asked. "It's only possible," Wei said. "No matter if there's really something below, this place isn't suitable for a tomb." Little Wei said, "Big brother, let's find the drainage array first." The two of them flew into the air to observe and deduce. The others could only wait below. "Little junior brother, why aren't you coming along?" "To find an array in such a big place, I don't have enough experience," Sima Yuyue said. "Aren't you very good at arrays?" Han Miao Shuang asked. "Senior sister, I'm just more familiar with some arrays. But I'm only good at small-scale arrays." For a large-scale array like this, I can't deduce it. Sima Yue said, if this array is only a few hundred meters, I can do it. Is this a specialization? Han Miao Shuang said, just like us alchemists, we have our own specialties. Something like that. They waited for half a day, but De Wei and Little Wei were still frowning. It seemed like there wasn't any progress. Yue, come over for a while. De Wei waved at Sima Yue. Sima Yue walked over. Yue, come and take a look. What's wrong with this array? We can't deduce it together. De Wei said, come and see where the problem is. This array is really old. It looks quite old. Sima Yue squatted down and fiddled with the array stones that they had deduced. The three of them discussed. Little junior brother looks so handsome when he's serious. Han Miao Shuang exclaimed. It was a pity that she was a girl. Otherwise, she would have chased her. It's really handsome. Su Xiao turned his head and said, right, eldest senior brother? Kang Junshul leaned on Su Xiao's shoulder and fell asleep. It's really. Han Miao Shuang poked him speechlessly. As expected, there was no reaction. Xiao, come here. She pulled Xiao away. Kang Junshul, who lost his support, didn't fall to the ground. He maintained his position. When the surrounding teachers and Kong Valley members saw him like this, they all started laughing. Han Miao Shuang touched her forehead and felt that she had done something wrong. She stuffed Xiao back. Kang Junshul felt something rubbing against him and rubbed against him again. He continued to sleep on Xiao's body. Sima Yue looked up and saw the scene. She couldn't help but smirk. He was such a sleepy person, but he followed her to this place. And Su Xiao's patient look, wasn't it because the environment here was too bad? But he still came and stood there. He didn't leave and even grumbled. If this was the parting garden, he would have gone berserk. Her heart felt warm. What if this line was drawn like this? Xiao Wei's words pulled her back to reality. She looked down and saw that Xiao Wei had already changed the array a little. But it was still not right. He was about to change the part back when he was stopped by Sima Yue. Wait a minute. Sima Yue picked up the other two array stones and placed them on the ground. De Wei and Xiao Wei's eyes lit up. Chapter 796. That's it. Little Wei exclaimed as he stared at the array formation on the ground in disbelief. The people on the other side heard his cheers and looked over. Done? Fan Lei and the others flew over. I've already completely deduced this array formation. Now, we just need to see what's wrong with it. Little Wei said. Aren't we going into the tomb? What is the use of the array on the surface? Han Miao Shuang asked. Because the formation has lost its effectiveness, this place has become a place of great danger. If this formation is activated, even if it can't expel all the water vapor here, it can weaken the water attribute here. It'll be easier to deal with those things when we go down there, Little Wei explained. Hearing his explanation, the others finally understood. This teleportation formation wasn't complicated, and it wasn't very different from the one they were using now. Big Wei and Little Wei quickly found the source of the problem, and after clarifying the problem, they activated the formation again. Almost at the instant the array was activated, Jing Wen and the others in the mausoleum below immediately felt the pressure outside lessen. The attack power of those strange-looking things was greatly reduced. Let's go down. Big Wei and Little Wei returned to the group and said. Once he heard that they could go down, Kong Sengyi immediately led the Kong Valley people into the swamp. Let's go down as well. After Fan Lei and Kong Valley's people left, he said to the people from the academy. Sima Yue and the rest immediately formed a thin barrier around themselves before jumping down. Plop, plop, the muddy water was split open. Sima Yue felt as if she had passed through several hundred meters of muddy water. After breaking through the thick layer of soil, she flew for a while before seeing a huge mausoleum. There was a huge barrier above the mausoleum, enveloping the entire mausoleum. Perhaps it was because too much time had passed, but the barrier could only block the sand outside and not people. Yu and the girls passed through it with a light push. They landed on the empty ground in front of the mausoleum. The entire place was built like a courtyard. The mausoleum here looks really ancient, similar to what I read in ancient books. It seems that it has indeed been a long time. The scenery here is similar to what Su Yuan said. They should have entered from here. Han Miao Shuang said. There are powerful creatures here. Kang Junshul finally woke up and opened his eyes beside Su Xiaoxiao. He didn't wake up when Su Xiaoxiao brought him down. She didn't expect him to wake up as soon as they arrived here. There is indeed a very powerful aura. Han Miao Shuang also said, it seems like from the moment we arrived here, we've been targeted by someone. It gives me a creepy feeling. On the other hand, Sima Yuyue raised her head and looked at the barrier above her, saying, it seems like the moment we entered this barrier, we entered a huge formation. There's an array here. However, we don't feel the power of the array. A disciple from the Kong Valley said. Because this formation is not activated. Sima Yuyue said, or rather, the person who destroyed the array outside back then came here to do this. There is indeed an array formation here. This array formation can prevent people from coming in from the outside. It can also trap the things inside from coming out. Dewey said, it should be that person back then who knew that something would appear after this place became a place of great danger, so he destroyed the array here. Little Wei guessed. I don't know who did this. However, no matter who it is, they don't have good intentions. Han Miao Shuang stretched out her hands and rubbed her arms as she said. However, everyone proposes but God disposes. I didn't expect that before their plan succeeded, it would be broken by someone. Kong Sangyi said. I think, this isn't something a small force can do. Sima Yuyue said, the sea turns into mulberry fields over the years. Even if this place changed from a dry land to a swamp, it doesn't necessarily change the feng shui. To change the feng shui here, even if it doesn't take hundreds of thousands of years, it would at least take tens of thousands of years. An ordinary force might not be able to hold on for so long. Everyone agreed with her opinion. This was definitely not done by an ordinary force, but now they didn't know who did it. Yuyue, let's go in and take a look. Kong Sangyi was worried that the people inside wouldn't be able to hold on, so he said to Yuyue and led the Kong Valley people in. Not long after they went in, there were sounds of fighting and fluctuations of spirit energy. Let's go in and take a look. Fan Lei said to the teachers of the sect. Shui Rong and Shu Yuan stayed on top of the swamp and didn't come down, so the people who came in were not weak. After they went in, many ancient-looking creatures attacked them immediately. Not far away, Kong Sangyi and the others were surrounded by those creatures and were fighting with all their might. These creatures look like creatures from ancient times. Why are there so many of them here? A teacher shouted. Kang Junshul and Han Miao Shuang were beside Sima Yuyue. Both of them controlled the flames and burned the creatures that pounced on them. However, after they burned one, another one would appear and its strength would increase greatly. These creatures are so strange. Han Miao Shuang said with a frown when she saw a spirit beast that looked exactly the same as the one she just killed. Sima Yuyue was protected in the middle and didn't have to do anything. After hearing Han Miao Shuang's words, she carefully observed those spirit beasts. Their shapes were very similar to what was described in the ancient books in the Spirit Pagoda. Some were from ancient times, some were from ancient times. They were all extinct in the modern era. Why were there so many ancient creatures here? Could it be that they could live for so long? Or could it be that they were like little golden snake and were also trapped in the spirit stone? They preserved their life signs and only came out now? She frowned and thought for a while before she denied her own idea. Without a seeker spirit master to open it, these ancient creatures wouldn't come out so easily. There wouldn't be so many of them. Moreover, even a seeker spirit emperor master wouldn't be able to find so many of them. Since these creatures didn't come out from the spirit stone, they couldn't have lived for so long. Then, these were fake? Could it be an illusion array? Little Wei also thought of it and said to Big Wei. Quick, take a look. Old Fan, cover us brothers. Big Wei said to Fan Lei who was beside him. There's no illusion array here. Sima Yuyue said, not only is there no illusion array here, there aren't any other arrays. You've seen it? I've already checked. There's no movement of an array here. Sima Yuyue said. Could it be that these things are really ancient creatures? A teacher said. Those old things can't live for so long. Sima Yuyue said as she condensed lightning attribute spirit energy and struck towards those spirit beasts. Chapter 797. The power of the lightning she condensed was not very strong, but it still gave everyone present a shock. The spirit beast that was struck by her attack instantly turned into small specks of dust before dissipating into the air. This time, no spirit beast that looked like it came out. Sima Yuyue took advantage of the fact that the spirit beasts and humans were still in a daze and struck down 2 more lightning bolts. 2 more spirit beasts were scattered. Those with thunder attribute, use your thunder attribute now. Kong Sangyi shouted. There were still a few people who had thunder properties. Although their power wasn't as pure as Yoyue's, it was still effective when it hit the spirit beasts. Half of the spirit beasts that surrounded them were killed in a short while. The remaining spirit beasts, after seeing that too many of their companions had died, retreated one after another, as if they were in some kind of organization. Retreated? Those people saw the spirit beasts retreating like a tide, and they still couldn't believe it. Although I don't know why, it's good that you've retreated. When Fan Lei saw that the spirit beasts had retreated, he recalled that the first thunderbolt was struck by Sima Yuyue. He asked curiously, Yuyue, how did you know that the thunderbolt had a deterrent effect on them? I guessed, Sima Yuyue said. How did you guess? Fan Lei asked again. Sima Yuyue was speechless as she looked at this fellow who wanted to get to the bottom of things, because they are not real spiritual beasts. Not a real spirit beast? When she said that, everyone turned their attention to her and waited for her to explain. These spirit beasts all look like the ones in the ancient books. Some are from the ancient era, and some are from the immemorial era. Sima Yuyue said, no spirit beast can live for so long, so it's impossible for them to live until now. If they were sealed by the spirit stones and had only recently opened the seal, their strength would not be so weak. Furthermore, there wouldn't be so many spirit stones piled up in a mausoleum. This is neither the ancient mine nor the ruins of an ancient sect. That's why you guessed they were fake. That's right. But you also said that we weren't in the illusion array. Someone asked. Those are not illusions. Sima Yuyue said, this has nothing to do with the illusion array. Then what are these? It's some chi spirits. Sima Yuyue said. Chi spirit? What is that? This was the first time many people had heard of such a thing, and they found it very strange. They're spirit beasts that are formed from spiritual chi in certain environments. They would take on the appearance of the spirit beasts they were in at that time and possess their skills. It's just that it's not as strong as the real deal. Big Wei said. This mausoleum is isolated by a barrier. The inside is not connected to the outside. Therefore, when the environment here changed, these chi spirits were formed. Little Wei explained. No wonder they are so weak. So that's why. Have these chi spirits always been so weak? No. The more time passed, the stronger they would become. If they are beaten, they will absorb our spirit energy and form an even more powerful chi spirit. Big Wei said. That's right. I just realized that when we kill some, more powerful ones will appear. Han Miao Shuang said. These are so weak. It should be because they haven't been formed for a long time. If we encounter those that have been formed for a long time, it won't be so easy to deal with them. But, if spirit energy is nourishing for the chi spirit, why can lightning attribute do it? Actually, fire can do it too. It's just that normal flames are useless. Unless it's a famous deviant flame. Sima Yuyue explained, these chi spirits belong to the abnormal category. Lightning attribute has lightning punishment, so it's naturally possible. Ah, a scream came from the depths of the mausoleum, causing everyone's heart to jump. Young miss, it's a brother from the valley. A man beside Kong Sengyi said. Let's go in and take a look. Kong Sengyi could tell that this voice belonged to someone he knew. He brought his men and rushed in. Let's go in and take a look. Fan Lei said. The people from the sect also ran in. They first passed through a long tunnel. Once they exited the tunnel, they couldn't hear anything from the outside. It was as if they entered a silent world. We're in an array today. De Wei didn't panic. He and Little Wei quickly broke the array. They seemed to be in a huge cave. There were tunnels in all directions. They didn't know where to go. Although the array was broken, they still couldn't hear Jing Wen and the others. It was just that it wasn't as quiet as before. I heard their voices just now. Why are they gone now? Kong Sengyi said doubtfully. We probably went in the wrong direction when we came in. Little Wei said. There are many arrays here. They're all connected to each other. Maybe we'll end up in different places after entering different arrays. Then what do? We don't even know where they are now. Kong Sengyi said anxiously. Xiang Yi, don't panic. Sima Yuyue said, there are so many arrays here. I think they shouldn't be too far in. They should be near us. We just have to find their way. But it's so dangerous here. How do we find them? Han Miaoshuang grabbed her arm and said, don't run around. It'll be dangerous if you meet with some trap array. This is an ancient tomb. Who knows what's inside? Sima Yuyue saw the worry in Han Miaoshuang's eyes. She smiled and said, I won't run around. I'll get someone to help us find them. Who are you looking for? Sima Yuyue called out a few hundred scarlet bees. After giving them some instructions, she got them to fly towards the different tunnels. There were so many scarlet bees in the spirit pagoda. A few hundred of them were nothing to her. Based on this speed, she didn't know if there would be a flood of scarlet bees. Should she get the Scarlet Queen Bee to control the speed of her birth? Scarlet bees. The teachers in the sect recognized the scarlet bees. After the scarlet bees left, they all turned their attention to Sima Yuyue. Little junior brother, why do you have so many scarlet bees? There were a few hundred of them just now, right? Han Miaoshuang looked at Sima Yuyue with shining eyes. She was very excited. You have scarlet bees. Do you have scarlet honey? Yes. You do? You didn't even share some with me. Little junior brother, you're too mean. Han Miaoshuang reached out and poked her head. Haven't you eaten it before? Sima Yuyue grabbed her finger. Every time I barbecue meat, I put honey. Are you saying that's scarlet honey? Han Miaoshuang shouted. Yes. I only have scarlet honey. If it's not used, then what is it? I was wondering why the taste of this honey was different from the ones I ate before. I actually ate so much scarlet honey and I didn't even know. Kang Junshul and Su Xiaoxiao were shocked too. But they wouldn't be as embarrassing as her. Chapter 798. This time, even Fan Lei, Big Wei, and Little Wei were surprised. This guy actually used scarlet honey to barbecue meat? This was too extravagant. Yuyue, I only know now that you're so nice. I'm so happy. Han Miaoshuang hugged Sima Yuyue and jumped happily. She even kissed her on the cheek. Everyone stared at the two of them with their mouths agape. How immoral. Alright, aren't you embarrassed? Sima Yuyue wiped the saliva off her face. What's there to be embarrassed about? They were all girls. Han Miao Shuang didn't say the last sentence, otherwise, this little girl would have smashed her head. Oh right, junior brother, give me a big jar later. I want to refine pills. Sima Yuyue said helplessly, okay. I'll give it to you when we get back. Let's get down to business first. Yes. All right. Han Miao Shuang thought of the big jar of scarlet honey and smiled widely. Everyone else was dumbfounded. A big jar of scarlet honey was given away just like that? This was too generous. I want one too. Su Xiaoxiao saw that Han Miao Shuang already had one. How could he not have one? Yes. One can for each of you. Sima Yuyue noticed that Kang Junshul was also looking at her. Good. Thank you, junior brother. Su Xiaoxiao was also happy. The eyes of the other teachers turned red. These were 3 jars of scarlet honey. He gave it away just like that. They really wanted to ask, are there any more? They wanted it too. It was a pity that they weren't close, so they couldn't ask. But if there was a chance later, he could buy some from her. Yuyue, this, Sima Yuyue raised a finger and interrupted Kong Sangyi. She seemed to be listening to something. After a while, she said to Kong Sangyi, the scarlet bees have found Jing Wen and the others. They said that their situation is a little serious. I don't think they can hold on any longer. We have to hurry over. Then let's go. Hey, wait a minute. Sima Yuyue held on to Kong Sangyi and said, there are so many arrays here and so many chi spirits. We can't just walk around. Then what should we do? Come with me. Sima Yuyue glanced at Fan Lei. Seeing him nod, she said to Kong Sangyi, let's go. She entered a passageway first. Kong Sangyi and Shiman Feng quickly followed. Han Miao Shuang and the other 2 senior siblings also entered together. The disciples of the Kong Valley had all entered, but the people of the academy remained where they were. Old Fan, are we going? Big Wei asked. Go. Since all the students of the academy have gone, it's fine for us to stay here. Old Su's 4 disciples have all gone. If we don't go and something happens to them, Old Su will definitely be anxious with us when he comes back. Fan Lei shook his head and led the way into the passageway they went. Old Wei and Little Wei shook their heads helplessly when they thought of how Su Jin would flip out and followed in. Fan Lei, Big Wei, and Little Wei all went. The other teachers could only follow. The route they took is very strange. Big Wei followed them for a while and said, they avoided all the places with arrays. It looks like they took a detour, but they actually saved a lot of energy. How did she know about these routes? The teacher behind asked. It should be the scarlet bees that investigated it just now. Are those scarlet bees that powerful? Scarlet bees are the most powerful among the spirit bees. They are experts in hiding their aura and investigating. Little Wei said. There are so many scarlet bees. It's not difficult to investigate all the passageways here. Sima Yuyue led them for a while. Gradually, they could hear the sounds of fighting and screams. The people of the Kong Valley were very anxious. But Yuyue was walking at a steady pace in front of them. They didn't dare to run to the front. When they came to a 3-way junction, the sounds of fighting came from the left passageway. Sima Yuyue stopped at the junction and led them to the right. Yuyue, didn't the sounds come from the left? Kong Sangyi asked. Follow me. It won't be wrong. Sima Yuyue was focused on the journey. She didn't have the heart to explain to her. Fortunately, Kong Sangyi had absolute trust in her. Hearing her say that, he didn't ask any more questions and continued to follow her. Seeing this, the people of the Kong Valley had no choice but to follow. They originally thought that they would go to the wrong place. They didn't expect to see Jing Wen and the others fighting at this passageway. Quickly go and help. Kong Sangyi said to the lightning attribute spirit master. Sima Yuyue condensed her spirit energy faster. As soon as Kong Sangyi finished speaking, she released her spirit energy. Pa! The lightning struck the spirit beast that attacked Jing Huan. When it dissipated, its claws were less than a centimeter away from Jing Huan's heart. Jing Huan was pressed to the ground by the spirit beast. He could only watch as the sharp claws of the spirit beast approached his heart. I'm done for. When he was faced with death, his mind went blank. Only these 3 words echoed in his mind. What do you mean by recalling your life before death? Is that a lie? However, the expected death didn't come. Instead, he was struck by lightning because of the spirit beast. Hiss, he felt pain all over his body. However, it wasn't to the point where he couldn't move. Seeing another chi spirit swinging his fist and smashing it down, he quickly rolled on the ground and dodged. Fighting a spirit beast in close combat. As a spirit master, you've got guts. A familiar voice came from above. He looked up and saw Sima Yue grabbing the arm of the spirit beast. Yue? He shouted in surprise. Sima Yue condensed a ball of fire and added a little bit of Qi Yan's fire. Starting from the arm, the spirit beast was burned clean. Jing Huan got up from the ground and said gratefully, "Thank you. You saved me again. Remember to reward me later." Sima Yue said with a smile, "Let's hurry up and fight now." That being said, with everyone joining in, those chi spirits were quickly wiped out, and the remaining few ran away with whooshing sounds. They ran really fast. Sima Yue retracted her spirit chi and didn't continue chasing. Kong Sangyi and the others didn't continue either. Everyone turned around and asked Jing Wen, "How are you guys?" Cough cough. Jing Wen's injuries were more serious. He coughed twice and said, "We're fine," but they, Sima Yue followed his gaze. There were several corpses in the room. Other than 1 or 2 that were relatively intact, the rest were broken limbs. Kong Sangyi looked at the corpses and said, "They're all disciples of the valley. Collect their corpses and bring them back to the valley for burial. Jing Wen, you guys eat some pills first." The people of the valley went to collect the corpses. Jing Wen and the others took the pills from everyone. "Yue, I didn't think we'd meet again so soon. I heard from Jing Huan that you saved them. Before I could thank you, you saved us again." Jing Wen said to Sima Yue. Sima Yue didn't answer him. Instead, she looked at the passageways. "They're here." Chapter 799. Everyone looked in the direction she was looking at. Soon, there was some movement there. "Qi spirits are coming." Shimen Feng stood beside Kong Sangyi and said. "What is Qi Ling?" Jing Huan asked. "Why haven't they heard of it before?" "It's a special kind of creature. I don't have time to explain it to you now." Shimen Feng said, listening to the commotion, "There are quite a few people coming this time. The Thunder Attribute Spirit Master's spirit energy is almost exhausted. It's better for us to retreat first." "But we can't get out." Big Wei said. "Master Wei, what did you say?" "When we entered here, we entered an array." Big Wei said, "Before we break the array, we can't get out." "Then what should we do?" "What else can we do?" "We can only go." Han Miao Shuang said. "But when our spiritual energy hits them, it will only replenish their energy. Then there's no other way." Big Wei said, "You guys go ahead and hold on for a while. We'll break the array here." "All right." Sima Yu brought the few lightning attribute spirit masters to the entrance of the tunnel and attacked the chi spirits that were coming over. The first batch of chi spirits were all struck to death. However, there were 2 spiritual masters whose thunder attribute spiritual energy had been completely depleted. "It's our turn." The 2 spirit masters quickly retreated, and the other 2 spirit masters stepped forward. They condensed their spirit power and attacked the chi spirits. This time, the 2 of them lasted longer. Even so, they couldn't hold on until Big Wei and Little Wei broke the array formation. At the same time, there were movements coming from the other passageways. Oh no, there are chi spirits coming from other channels. What should we do? It's not like we can fight them. Let me try. Fan Lei waved his hand and a barrier enveloped the entire stone room. It's useless. Ordinary barriers can only block ordinary creatures, but they can't block things like chi spirits. Big Wei stood up and quickly went to various places in the house. He condensed his spirit energy to draw the array pattern and then placed the last array stone under his feet. When the last array stone was placed, the array formation immediately lit up, blocking all the chi spirits outside. Sima Yoyue's eyes lit up when she saw the Great Wei's formation. The way he set up the array formation was very strange. The array formation was simple, but the effect was very good. He only took a few breaths to finish setting up the array. This speed made her gasp in amazement. This formation can hold them off for a while. You guys should quickly recover your spiritual energy. Once we break through this formation, we'll have a tough battle ahead of us. Big Wei said as he squatted down to continue discussing the formation with Little Wei. But we don't have any lightning-attributed spiritual energy recovery pills right now. We usually don't prepare many of these special pills. Someone said. The wind, thunder, and ice attributes were different from the other basic attributes. Generally, pills that recovered spiritual energy could be used for the 5 basic attributes, but these special attributes were useless. There were very few lightning-attributed pills that could restore spiritual energy, so most people didn't prepare many of them. Sima Yuyue took out some pills and gave them to those who did not have any. Use mine first. Thank you. After those people ate the pills, they went to the side to recover their spiritual energy. Sima Yuyue came to Big Wei's side and squatted down to study the array formation with them. Han Miao Shuang took out the dried meat that Yuyu prepared for her and ate it, while Kong Junshou leaned on Su Xiao Xiao and fell asleep. Kong Sengyi told Jing Wen and the others about the chi spirits. Only then did they know why the more they attacked, the more powerful the spirit beasts were. It turned out that they were not ordinary spirit beasts. Knowing that other than the lightning-attributed people, the rest of them didn't have enough spiritual energy, those people were disheartened. No matter how strong they were now a burden. Sima Yuyue looked at the sketches that Big Wei and the others drew on the ground and felt that it was familiar. She remembered that in the book that Wu Lingyu gave her, there were some similar ones, but she couldn't remember which one it was at the moment. So she let Little Spirit flip through the pages of the Spirit Pagoda for her. Finally, when she was about to finish flipping through the entire book, she found one that was similar to this formation. It still doesn't work. Big Wei deduced the formation once inside. Without a complete record of the formation, we can't deduce these ancient formations. Then there's no other way? Fan Lei was at the side and said dejectedly when he heard Big Wei's words. Not really. Maybe there's another way. Little Wei looked at Sima Yuyue and said. Sima Yuyue was still in a daze and didn't notice Little Wei's gaze on her. I know how to do it. After understanding the formation, she came back to her senses and walked around the room. She pointed at an inconspicuous little bump in the corner and said, "This is the place to break the formation." Here. Big Wei looked at the bump and lowered his head to look at the formation that they deduced. Then, he continued to deduce according to the hints. That's right. It's done. Little Wei exclaimed first. As expected, as expected. Big Wei looked at Sima Yuyue. This sentence had a deeper meaning. This formation is broken? Fan Lei looked at them and asked. That's right, it's broken. Little Wei said. We'll wait for a while before breaking the formation. Big Wei looked at those who were still recovering their spirit energy. The formation that I set up can still hold on for a while. We'll wait for them to recover their spirit energy before breaking the formation. This way, we'll have a higher chance of escaping. That's good too. Fan Lei said. Sima Yuyue looked at the few passages that were filled with spirit beasts and looked at those who were recovering their spirit energy. If they wanted to escape, it would be difficult. The others knew this too. So even if the formation was broken, they didn't look relaxed. She came in front of Su Xiao and the others and sat down, saying, I told you not to come, but you insisted. Look at you now, you're trapped here. Han Miaoshuang finished the last bit of dried meat and took out a handkerchief to wipe her hands, saying, Hey, junior brother, let me tell you. Ever since I followed Master, this is the first time I've experienced something so dangerous. It's so exciting. Exciting? Aren't you worried that you won't be able to escape? Sima Yuyue looked at her speechlessly. What's there to worry about? Han Miaoshuang said, although the situation is dangerous, there's no anxiety or worry in your eyes. If you're not afraid, why should I be? Sima Yuyue looked at her calm face and was silent for a while before saying, Thank you for your trust. You really trust me more than I trust myself. That's true. Han Miaoshuang looked in her interspatial ring for a while and didn't find anything she wanted to eat, saying, Junior brother, do you still have spirit fruits? Sima Yuyue took out a spirit fruit and handed it to her. She couldn't help but sigh in her heart. She was really a carefree person. But she didn't completely believe that they weren't worried because of her. They definitely had their own methods. Chapter 800. As time passed, Dewey's array became more and more unstable under the attack of the Qi spirits and was on the verge of collapsing. Fortunately, the pills that Sima Yuyue gave to the spirit masters were very good. During this period of time, almost everyone had recovered their spirit energy. It's about time. Dewey stood up and said to everyone. Let's follow the plan that we just discussed. Fan Lei said. While they were waiting, Fan Lei and Kong Sengyi discussed their strategy and decided that one side would lead the way while the other would stay behind to deal with the aftermath. I'll walk at the back. Sima Yuyue said. The Qi spirits in front would get lesser and lesser while the ones at the back would get more and more. So the people at the back would be under more pressure. Yuyue, you should walk in front. Kong Sengyi was worried about Sima Yuyue and said yes. Yeah, and with you leading the way, we won't walk into dangerous places. Dewey and Little Wei teacher are in front, there shouldn't be a problem. Sima Yuyue said, Principal Fan should be more clear about my lightning. Fan Lei knew what Sima Yuyue meant. Since she could trigger the heavenly tribulation, her lightning was definitely not ordinary lightning. Alright, then you walk at the back. Fan Lei said. Then we'll walk at the back too. Kang Junchul said. You guys walk at the back. Fan Lei wanted to say that they would be a burden if they walked at the back, but Kang Junchul shot out a flame and hit him back. Han Miaoshuang and Su Xiao also shot out 2 flames. He glanced at the 3 of them and said, Since you guys have deviant flames, then you guys walk at the back. Remember, if you can't hold on, immediately come to the front. If you guys die, your master will go crazy. Of course we know that. We're not idiots. Han Miaoshuang kept her flames and clapped her hands. If that's the case, then the rest of you will lead the way. Fan Lei instructed the others, the rest of you will be in the middle. Everyone, get ready. Teacher Big Wei, take that path. Sima Yuyue pointed at the leftmost path. Dewey nodded. When the formation he had set up was broken, he immediately attacked the small bump that Yuyue had found. Roar. Attack. The lightning-attributed soul masters immediately charged towards the tunnel that Sima Yuyue had mentioned. The soul beasts at the front were immediately scattered by the lightning. Go! Those spirit masters chopped as they walked, taking the lead to enter the passage. The rest went in while Sima Yuyue and the other 3 stayed behind to clean up the mess. I haven't used Deviant Flame to fight before. Now I can test its power. Han Miaoshuang clasped her hands together and chuckled. Don't laugh, let's fight. Su Xiao shot out a green flame, burning all the Qi spirits that rushed up. Kang Junchul also casually shot out a flame. The flame took the shape of a lotus and flew towards the Qi spirit that was flying over from another channel. Han Miaoshuang's flame turned into a red whip. With a swing of the long whip, it swept across. Sima Yuyue hadn't even made a move, but the three of them had already dealt with the first wave of enemies. Let's go. Han Miao Shuang pulled Sima Yuyue and walked into the passage. Su Xiao followed behind and Kang Junshul brought up the rear. Sima Yuyue saw the flames that they had summoned and knew that she didn't have to worry. She knew it. How could these guys be so calm? They definitely had a backup plan. But she didn't expect that the three of them would have deviant flames. Seeing that the three of them didn't reveal anything, it really surprised her. A few soul masters cleared the path in front and Kang Junshul's deviant flame behind them. They quickly walked out. So we're not far from the exit. Jing Wen sighed. It's not far from here. But there are many arrays here. If we don't avoid them, we'll walk to other places. We might even walk further and further away. Little Wei explained. Since we're out, let's go out quickly. A teacher said. They didn't understand the situation before coming down. They suffered a little. Now there were only a few lightning attribute soul masters. If the chi spirits chased after them, it would be very dangerous. At this time, Sima Yuyue and the other three came out. Let's go back to the land first. Fan Lei saw them come out and said. Everyone condensed a protective layer and flew up. Sima Yuyue followed behind. After thinking for a while, she threw out a flame before flying up. Kang Junshul and Han Miao Shuang saw what she did and threw a flame back. Let's go. The four of them were the last to go out. The chi spirits wanted to chase after them but were blocked by the spirit barrier. Before they could fly back, they were engulfed by the flames. Little Birdie turned into a big birdie and flew in from the entrance. It brought along two other flames and started to sweep through the tomb. The chi spirits that chased after them were all burned up. Shui Rong and Su Yuan were waiting on the swamp. Seeing that they didn't come out for a long time, the two of them were very anxious. Rong, do you think the dean and the others will be okay? Su Yuan's complexion wasn't very good. Although the poison in her body was cured, she didn't fully recover. Probably not. Shui Rong wasn't sure herself. They went down for too long. But the two of them didn't have a choice. If something really happened, they could only go back to get help. The sound of the muddy water splashing attracted their attention. A figure came out of the muddy water. It's the academy's teachers. Su Yuan shouted in surprise. That's great. They're fine. Shui Rong heaved a sigh of relief. If the academy's teachers were fine, then the others should be fine too. Soon, the people below came up. Dean. Shui Rong and the others went up. They saw that none of them were seriously injured. Only some of their clothes were torn and stained with blood. There were also some people that they didn't see before. They should be the people they wanted to save this time. Let's go back to the city first. Fan Lei said. Dean, then we don't care about the things below? Will they come out to harm people? A teacher said. Chi spirits can only move around in tombs. They can't come out. De Wei said, and we've already reactivated the array outside. The feng shui here will return to how it was before. When the time comes, the chi spirits will naturally disappear. The teachers were relieved when they heard that. They didn't say anything else. Since they wouldn't come out to harm people, their academy didn't need to care too much. As for whether or not people would go down, it wasn't within their scope of concern. Sima Yuyue and Kang Junshul looked at the sky. They didn't mention that they set the fire. Let's go back first. I still have some things to ask you. Fan Lei said to Shui Rong and Kong Yi. Kong Sengyi also ordered the Kong Valley's people to return to the city. The group of people sat on their flying beasts and left. Not long after they left, a few people came out of the swamp and looked in the direction they left. They weren't far from Fan Lei, but even he didn't notice anyone hiding in the swamp. Press the Enter key to return to the book list. Press key to return to the previous page. Press key to return to the next page. Crazy Wife, 5th Miss Divine Doctor. Please remember our address. Download Crazy Wife, 5th Miss Divine Doctor. Please go to You're tuning in to the Journey of the Soul YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.